Neptune Conchita. How are we feeling today? $300,000 on the line, $1 million prize pool. But not only that, being able to become the Free Fire at EWC 26 champion.
I'm not gonna lie, I am feeling it. I mean, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but standing right here, we can hear the drums of Luxo supporter as well as the flags of RRQ Kingdom. Everyone is here and the game is on. I am feeling it, Neptune.
I'm real excited right
What's up guys? Hello, welcome back to another live stream. Finals है आज. Let's go guys. Excited हो कि नहीं तुम लोग? Shark gave us a sign. I got a work call actually. मुझे एक work call आ गया. So मुझे उस call में I had to speak. So I had to be there on the call. Sorry. My bad. My bad. Sorry. Hi Kiran Kumar. Hi संतोष. ब्लॉक कब? आपको ब्लॉक होना है? ब्लॉक होना है आपको? हाँ, किसको सपोर्ट कर रहे हो आज गाइस तुम लोग? मैं तो टीम इंडिया को सपोर्ट कर रही हूँ. टीम इंडिया में कोई भी जीते हम खुश होंगे. यो अभिनव, व्हाट इज अप? फ्री फायर कब से डूइंग वॉच पार्टी बिकॉज या इट्स ई स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड कप एंड इट्स फन यार. फ्री फायर भी फन है यार. फ्री फायर में भी मज़ेदार तो है. Hey Shakshi, watching your live after so long. Hey, should I wear this chashma or should we wear this chashma? Which chashma should we wear? Hi Shakshi, low-key miss ye wala Free Fire watch parties. Why do you miss? Black one looks great on you. Thank you. हाय लोहित, क्या बात है? हाँ लोहित, आज टाइम मिल गया तुझे. हाँ, मेरे चैनल में वन ऑफ द मेन मॉड्स हो तुम. हाँ, कोई शर्म है तुम्हें? कहाँ हो तुम? कहाँ हो तुम? सबके सब नए मॉड्स ढूंढने पड़ेंगे क्या मुझे अभी? कोई आता ही नहीं है. क्या है ये गाइज? मेरा वन ऑफ द मेन मॉड्स आए चैट में. भरो उसको, भरो. छुट्टी है ना आज ऑफिस में. इनकी भी गलती नहीं है. ये लोग बेचारे अभी बड़े हो गए सब लोग. अभी ऑफिस कॉलेज ये सब जाना चालू किया इन लोग ने. So yeah, guys, thanks for the jewels. समोसा, पानी पूरी, मैंगो लस्सी सब बिंदास आने दो, चलेगा मुझे. I'm ready. You're ready for what? एक मेटा ग्लास मेरे को. ये मेटा ग्लासेस नहीं है यार, ये ब्लूरे ग्लासेस है. मेटा ग्लासेस भी है मेरे पास, बट पीसी के सामने मैं ब्लूरे पहनती हूँ बिकॉज उससे आईज प्रोटेक्टेड होते हैं. मैंने नोटिस किया है जब भी मैं लंबे स्ट्रीम्स करती हूँ और मैं नहीं पहनती हूँ इनको, सो उसके बाद मेरे आईज बहुत पेन होने लगते हैं एंड देन थोड़ा रेड रेड होता है. तो जब आई वेयर दीज आई फील इट्स बेटर. सो आई वुड रेकमेंड, अगर आप लोग भी कंप्यूटर के सामने बहुत टाइम रहते हो, सो इनको पहनो. चश्मा है नहीं है फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. मुझे भी चश्मा नहीं है वैसे, बट स्टिल आई वेयर इट कुछ प्रोटेक्शन. मेरे सामने तो ऐसे ड्यूअल बड़े बड़े स्क्रीन या लाइट्स होती है, इतना कुछ. एक लाइट ऑन करना भूल गई मैं. या सो इट इज़ मच 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 नीडेड, कंपल्सरी. फ्लेक्सिंग अवार्ड मेरा क्लास. फ्लेक्स नहीं यार, मुझे तो फ्री में आया था. मुझे एक आया था, इंस्टाग्राम मेटा ने ही मुझे दिया था, और दूसरा वाला मुझे मिला था दुबई में दूसरे ब्रांड वर्क में. तो दो है मेरे पास गाइस. सो या. हे, ब्लॉग विद केविन पीटरसन वाज ग्रेट. थैंक यू. थैंक यू. पेरिस नहीं जा रहे क्या? जाऊंगी थोड़ा लेट. I want the stream channel creation. I want to stream channel creation. You mean content creation? Can you suggest tips? Starting में सब करो यार. I think you should just try all kind of games, all kind of content जो भी है आपका. वही main experiment phase होता है. Give up नहीं करना है. अगर एक बार start कर रहे हो तो then demotivate होके you cannot stop. You have to be very continuous and you have to keep going. Then with time आपको समझ आ जाएगा कि आपके चैनल में क्या चल रहा है. What is the audience liking? What are you liking? किस में views आ रहा है, किस में अच्छा हो रहा है. So yeah, it's a process. सबका अलग अलग होता है. जो मेरे लिए चलेगा वो किसी और के लिए नहीं चलेगा. जो किसी और के लिए चलता है वो मेरे लिए नहीं चलेगा. So सबका अलग पर्सनालिटी, क्रिएटिविटी, माइंड्स उसके हिसाब से होता है. स्ट्रीम ऑन करो. मेरी वाली आ गई. एक सेकेंड लगा रही हूँ. ये आपकी बारी. Basanna is here, guys.
ในการแข่งขัน EWC ครั้งนี้ครับ
ก็วันนี้มาสุดท้ายแล้วครับรอบชิงแล้วพวกผมก็จะทำให้เต็มที่แล้วก็จะคว้าแชมป์มาฝากทุกคนได้ครับก็
डॉबी के दोस्त नहीं, डॉबी का भाई है ये
ผม
ब्रदर.
ว่าในรายการแข่งจริงๆก็น่าจะประมาณ 6 โมงเย็นครับก็ฝากติดตามมันด้วยครับเพราะผมจะคว้าแชมป์มาให้ได้
Alright, so thank you so much everyone for keep supporting us. Like we already made it to the grand final. So right now we're gonna start playing at around 1 p.m. So in Thailand it's supposed to be around 6 p.m. And I hope you guys gonna be enjoying in our games.
Ah, so cute. Okay, one more question. If you guys are the champion, how many games you guys will make it? Like how many games can you make it to become the champions?
คิดว่าต้องใช้กี่เกมครับจนกว่าเราจะเป็นแชมเปี้ยนได้
Hey, thank you for the jewels. Oh my god, your doggo wala animation is so cute.
ถ้าเป็นตัวปกติแล้วรายการ
So
อื่น
cute.
ถ้า
I
รายการ
love
มี
this
ทีมอื่น
animation.
ผมให้
800 jewels. Aga
Around 10 games, but
Zero.
for this
Thank
time,
you,
there's gonna be
Agazo.
strong
800
teams,
jewels के लिए
strong
thank you,
strong
thank you.
candidates. So I would say around 12.
इसका
Okay,
एनिमेशन
we
भी
got
बहुत
our
क्यूट
first
था. बहुत
number.
बढ़िया वाला
12.
सिलेक्ट किया
We're
आपने,
gonna
डॉगी
esport.
वाला.
Thank you, Wasana, so much, and thank you to our translator as well. This is the end of our interview, and please continue to support your favorite team for Buddha United
इसकी
Esports or any
ID
team
Yon
that
Suri.
is here in the final stage of AWC 26 Free Fire. See you guys in a bit.
Good to hear from one of the favorites to possibly lift this championship at the end of the day. And the reason
Hi,
why we had to
Mukesh.
focus on that squad is because they were the top dogs out of the groups. Especially when it came down to points, they were averaging about 19.7 points. And this is why they're part of our PS5 story of the day. Not only them, it's going to be Evos as well because they're the defending champions. But going back to Buriram, honestly, if there was ever a time to be able to lift that EWC trophy, it will be today.
We're looking forward to it. They have managed to do it in the global finals for FFWS already. So I don't think they will be slowing down. And you did put a little bit of numbers. Not only did they get that average point, when we compare them with Evo Divine, it seems like they are quite equal in both placement as well as elimination. But the only difference is, or what is favoring Buriram United, is the number of times they are
godlike में हूँ या लीव कर दिया. क्या लगता है आपको? हाँ, क्या लगता है? मतलब क्यों पूछ रहे हो आप ये क्वेश्चन मुझे? क्यों? Why would you even ask?
And with the match format that we're going to be doing, right? The format for today.
Short hair कभी करेंगे.
Everybody, it is going to be a
पता नहीं, अभी तो मन नहीं है.
They have to make sure
कुछ भी हो सकता है. बस इंडियन टीम्स जल्दी से 90 पॉइंट्स कर ले और बूया कर. By the way, guys, कल एक बहुत ही क्रेजी कोलैब करवा रहे हैं ये लोग मुझसे. कल बोल रहे हो. कल होने वाला है Valorant 5v5 मैच. Godlike versus SA12. All the best to me because Valorant मैंने महीनों से टच भी नहीं किया है. और टाइम भी नहीं मिल पाया है. हम फुल डे वॉच पार्टीज़ कर रहे हैं. सो पता नहीं प्रैक्टिस कब करूँगी और कल मैचेस है. सो लेट्स गो. Have you ever tried MOBA? नहीं. I've tried HOK. At last आ गई वो दिन जब वालो खेल. कल वालो खेल रहे हैं हम 5v5.
zones and a lot of rotations are going to clash with Lion. And we all know Lion is so good at playing quick, efficient games. They are quick with the rotation, efficient with the player changing. So I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I mean, just look at the statics that Lion have yesterday in match 9 during the survival stage. They just went for it. They have 25 elimination points and a booyah, 14,940 damage points with a whopping 20.72%.
आज हम practice करेंगे. Yeah, Sugar. Like genuinely, post stream, I'll hit you up, and yeah, I really need to practice. Yeah, completely gone out of touch. Probably you should do Free Fire stream soon. I might.
They might have a slight chance.
Yeah, and for Evos, they're going to be looking for Wasana to be able to.
क्या लग रहा है आपको कल के मैचेस देख के घर आएगा? मुझे लग रहा है बहुत हाई चांसेस है.
Especially if he is given the opportunity to get to that Oscar, the Valiant Dash. No blue walls will be safe. No opponent will be left standing in there. And we rarely see it out of Wasana. But
My cousin brother is watching you right now. He wants to marry you. I told him you are out of his range. He said, "Shut up, Duffo. Please reply for him." ऐसी चीज़ों का मैं क्या रिप्लाई दूँ भाई? क्या बोलूँ ऐसी चीज़ों में? मतलब इसमें क्या ही बोलूँ मैं? Stay hydrated. Yes, I'm drinking.
Yes, I am so excited because I finally got their first.
See, line and Tulu. Yan chowler.
It proves that it's never too late, and it sent them to the 3rd position. I mean, that is crazy. 105 elimination points, and it was game 8, was it, that they got 21 elimination points and 13,200 damage points with.
जाकर BGMI खेल लो.
That is so amazing. Now
तुम तो खेलते हो गया अमित यादव. आपने क्या उखाड़ लिया अभी मैं फ्री ये कर रही हूँ, वॉच पार्टी कर रही हूँ, तो अभी मैं फ्री फायर की वॉच पार्टी करूँगी ना. एक टाइम पे क्या करूँ मैं? नाइट बॉट कुछ चीज़ें अपने आप डिलीट करिए. सफ़र रुकता नहीं एक फैसले से, हौसले टूटते नहीं एक झटके से. TG esports हम आज भी तुम्हारे साथ है, क्योंकि असली फैंस जीत में नहीं होते. अरे ओह क्या परफॉर्मेंस है यार गाइस. डैम.
It all come down to this. Just 12 teams remain in the battle for supremacy on the Giria City Grid.
Teams who have poured their hearts out on the main stage, and today they go again. So join us as we welcome your finalists to the stage, starting with S8UL Esports.
Ooh, Team India! Let's go, let's go. S8UL.
Buram United Esports.
अरे बुरीराम के लिए पागल हो रहे हो नाइस
Loud Sneakers.
AGAL.
Team Apex Gaming.
Let's go Apex Chota Pardina
Twisted
Team India.
Minds.
MEBA Los.
Your reigning club.
लोहित कुछ डिलीट मत कर रहे हैं
Team Falcons.
Fluxo W7A.
फ्लुक्सो का तो है यार चेयर देख रहे हो आप लोग
Team RRQ.
ऋषभ को विश करो सिस एनर्जी से
And
ऋषभ को
finally,
विश
your
क्या करूं मैं
defending
लेकिन
champions of RWC, EVOS Esports. Whether you are the favorite or the underdog, you all have the same goal to lift that trophy and claim the lion's share of $1 million.
Today on this stage, history will be made, a legacy will be cemented, and a champion will be crowned. So welcome to the finals of Free Fire at the Esports World Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Free Fire at the Esports World Cup in Paris.
It is time for grand finals of Free Fire at the Esports World Cup.
So no time to wait anymore. I think it is time to introduce our teams.
Bom, eu considero muito que a gente é mais forte por conta que eu tenho muita confiança no meu time, em mim mesmo.
It's all about the timing.
ก็รู้สึกดีใจที่ได้เข้ารอบชิงครับแล้วก็อยากทำผลงานในรอบชิงให้ดีที่สุดครับอยากได้แชมป์
Members of the Falcons on fire. Loud is walking in the corner. What a shot!
And they won't be denied.
สำหรับผมก็น่ากลัวทุกทีมครับถ้าได้เข้ารอบมาในแกรนด์ไฟนอลทุกทีมคือเก่งหมดครับ
Eu sou muito confiante em mim mesmo e no meu time, mas nada tirando o mérito da Loud nem do Fluxo em si.
ทีมที่อยากจะเอาชนะได้มากที่สุดผมคิดว่าน่าจะเป็นบุรีรัมย์แล้วก็เอจิโกบอลเพราะว่าเป็นทีมไทยแล้วก็ตึงทั้งสองทีมแล้ว
The battle falls at the very end.
หลังจากเล่นรอบกรุ๊ปสเตจเสร็จนะครับก็รู้สึกว่ามีทีมที่เก่งเยอะครับผมเยอะกว่าที่คิดก็เลยทำให้ต้องข้ามแผนแล้วก็เล่นให้ดีขึ้นกว่าเดิมครับ
มีโอกาสได้เห็นเนี่ยผมจะทำทุกอย่างเพื่อให้ทีมได้แชมป์
Só queria
Today France
agradecer a
vs
torcida
England
de
will win
sempre. Se
finals.
Deus quiser, aí a gente vai erguer esse troféu.
Messi
aí por
left
vocês.
his 2 World Cup after that end of debate was AR. I was a Ronaldo fan. I am, but very sad.
Nothing is given, everything is earned, and for sure every
Who's your
single
favorite Free
one
Fire
of
streamer?
these teams on stage
मैंने ज़्यादा फ्री फायर के स्ट्रीम्स देखे नहीं है, मैंने सिर्फ सुने हैं थोड़ा लेटर। जितना मैंने सुना है, पहाड़ी इज़ गुड आई हैव हर्ड, जुबाई इज़ गुड आई हैव हर्ड, और मुझे पता नहीं कुछ मैंने ज़्यादा एक्सप्लोर नहीं किया है ये गेम, ना ही ज़्यादा कंटेंट देखा है अराउंड फ्री फायर।
Competitions and the biggest of names now made their way to the stage. They have unlimited games, but not the same in terms of the eliminations. They have unlimited challenges in front of them, but not the same when it comes to the eliminations because somebody else might take it away. They all start in our match number 1. My name is Lucifer with me on desk is Neptune as well as Dash Bunny, and we will take you through the grand finals for this very first match.
Yeah, it is loud out here. We have the fans coming here cheering for their teams. We have battles of rivalry, and making it here today was not easy. We had stories of heartbreak, we had stories of comebacks, we had stories of last minute pushes to make it here. And after all, for good reason, after so long we are seeing India on the big stage. Lucifer, this must be a big moment for you.
It is not just for me, it is for the people of India. It is for the players of India. It's for the community of India to see for the very first time. Imagine, they step onto Esports World Cup and there are 3 teams. And on day 1, nothing happens. Day 2, Team Apex Gaming end up getting 2.
ये वेन्यू से देखने में ज़्यादा मज़ा आता। I wish I would have seen it live from there, but फिर मैं स्ट्रीम नहीं कर पाती आप लोगों के लिए। ओह, अरे SC12 और Apex साथ में साथ में है ना ये लोग, ये देखो, अरे वाह, SC12 और Apex साथ में है, क्या बात है, क्या बात है।
Indian Booyah to start things off. SAT will then follow up. Tag follow up. Back to back. A lot of cascading things happening. And Neptune, you mentioned.
We're introduced right here, and there's very little.
Team India साथ में बैठी है, क्या बात है।
Those were broken. There's a lot of challenges that they face, and yeah, group stages like that.
वहाँ से आयरन कर लेती, सब लोग मैच में फोकस करते हैं यार, आयरन।
Didn't even expect this kind of numbers out of teams. 40% for both Team Apex Gaming as well as SAUL to be able to get to the top 3. And like judging from the teams that were part of survival stage, that was not easy.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy, and most importantly, I don't know what it is, the mentality, right? Coming into day number 2. I remember AJ was saying, hey, even if you get 1 Indian team up there, it's already really
good. Afternoon, stay hydrated.
We have 2 onto the big stage. And most importantly, the consistency that came in during the survival stage, during, the elimination day as well, was shocking. It was night and
Zero
day.
sugar.
I'm not too sure what happened the night before. I'm not too sure what they talked about. I'm not too sure what the coaches were happening. And this is where, this is where I think everyone's getting very, very cautious because no team should be looked down upon. No team should be underestimated. And in this situation today, everything is up in the air.
Yeah, everything is going to be earned. That's the status of our grand stage now. But talking about this, there is one team that I'm pretty sure upset majority of the Southeast Asian teams who wanted to be here in the grand finals yesterday in survival stage. That is none other than Lion. They roared yesterday. Their name completely glittering and golden rays of sun.
Yes.
They took the stage up on a storm and now they are here. Yes, the other giants are still here, but they are one to look out for.
Yeah, speaking of Lion, since we're going to start this first map, look at the numbers. They are the ones on top. They get 1 booyah out of this, and they told 75 every time, or for all the games that they played in Solaro. So I'm really looking forward to this, and we talked about this. This is one of the newest maps in Free Fire right now, and there's still a lot of challenges being encountered by the team. So those who really make the adjustment and study this hard, it has a good chance of grabbing that booyah.
Yeah, I think if anything's up in the air right now, we talked a little bit about.
Oh my God, match 1 starting. Let's go.
The game, right? Because again, the drop spots are going to be swapping. We did have the teams that all the way to grand finals yesterday as well. So yesterday was a battle of just trying to survive. Today is a battle of going up against the giants. After all, those names that made it all the way here today had 1 day rest.
Damn भाई इतना cheering हो रहा है venue में, कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा.
But my question is, can they, they overcome the high and momentum that some of these teams had coming in from yesterday itself from survival stage.
Right now, having the high is going to be.
Come on, guys,
We've
come
been
on.
seeing from the very
Team
beginning.
India, let's go.
They've been highly in terms of their roaring noise that we've been looking forward to cheering for Fluxo W7M. Right as now, Solaras, Gaming and Lion, they fight it out at equal
Wolven की HP थोड़ी कम हो रही है.
Lion would be the greatest threat out of India right now because Team Apex Gaming is
Come on,
facing them
THG.
in Eco Drain. And
Apex.
well, it's a good thing
Come
that
on,
KD
come on, come on.
does have elevation, does have information. But the only question though is who is going to push? Because Joker might have a good chance right now, but not a great
खत्म
weapon.
कर दो यार Lion को. Come on, boys.
Here they come right now. Joker waiting in the wings. He's been good with these fights.
Oh no, Choto.
Saving
Put her down हो गया
as
यार.
well in that process. Still healthy as a four. The
अरे
shots are good.
नहीं
And the Lions are going completely nuclear right now. Two in the bag.
नहीं Wolven ओश नहीं bro नहीं
Joker is also on the other end. That's going to be 3 big eliminations. Eco Drain completely drained out of Team Apex Gaming.
But that one thing, and despite of all the engagement that's happening,
KD God भाग
and he is going just in the middle of studio. But on the other side, we're also seeing
KD God OP भाई KD God thank God बच गया. Okay SAT12 का भी fight हो रहा है. Come on Noor.
Just ignoring them, and MP5 trying to eliminate.
Nice one भाई. अरे Bunny भी down.
Minds losing their players one by one. Bunny comes close, separated from Noor, but the crossfire is still.
Nice one.
Also will fall next.
Twisted Minds, they tried to go for a challenge, it did not work out.
Wow, SAT12 3 eliminations, guys. Let's go.
Just going in for those hits, eliminations, that's all in front of them and not who they're challenging. And something similar, Buriram United Esports just ended up getting 4 eliminations, almost about to eliminate a whole squad, but that did not happen. But they also need their title. Husky was mentioning the one title that they need in their cabinet.
Hi,
is
Anson.
Oh yeah, let's see though, because they have been going for that the hub.
आ गए वापस से TAG.
When it comes to this map, and I was just surprised that someone is really challenging them. But going back to challenge,
Lion को खत्म करो यार. Lion ने already ले लिया है काफी elimination.
who's trying to beat them down?
Nice. Kill them.
But let's see if they'll be able to fight back.
This area is so hot right now.
Lion
Because
Della
on
को भी
top of Fluxo,
खत्म
we
कर दो.
also have AGL here too. Della barely alive, waiting in the wings.
SAT12 4 eliminations भाई. Let's go SAT12.
A lot of pressure, a lot of util coming to him, and finally knocked down as well. There we go. Bobs will find him in the end, but AGL wants to challenge this space.
Oh, here comes a new challenger, AGL right now, and this just looks like a good storyline because everyone is going into Eco Drain, and if you lose this, everything will go down the drain.
It will indeed. Fluxo, they want to make sure that they're the ones who are on top of this. They're the ones who pull that key lever and take AGL if possible. But AGL,
Fluxo के भी 4 eliminations हो गए
see the
यार.
slide rails and decide to get out.
Fluxo की public देखो यार. सबसे best cheering spot जो दिख रही है land पे वो Fluxo को ही है.
Striving for it. They tried to get closer, but right now, it seemed like it was a distraction. He knocks the player, will try to get a confirmation, but right now Fluxo not giving it, but still he will secure Butzin's elimination.
It's nice seeing this. Duo was barely alive right now, managing to go for that reset, and they can just buy their time. Wasn't
उसको
aware
down
that
कर सकते थे. 1
would
HP
be
था वो.
able to answer back, and they're looking good. Yeah, Butzin's out, but they're going to be able to bring him back into the game, and there you go, so quickly. The only team right now that is currently down and out, at least with only one player left, is Made in Brazil lost, and for the rest of the team, rotations could come in from a different side here, but I think for Fluxo, finding Dio might be key. Spots him out, sees him, but over on this side here, RRQ did cross paths with Yago, and somehow survived.
Oh, Pally team eliminated.
You spoke too soon, Cash, and now RQ will be getting that 4 elimination to
आज
their
तो rocket उड़ रहा
side.
है.
There's another one that is
City
just
वाला
waiting
अच्छा
in the
कर रही है
shadows.
अभी
It's
तक
the
तो.
Falcons
4
right now.
eliminations.
And this has been one of the rivalries that has been happening in Southeast
कल भी 2
Asia.
बुया निकाला उन लोग ने.
Falcons, you know how their signature is. They won't be going in carelessly. They want to get information out of teams right now. And even RQ might be able to be caught off guard, but they are just waiting. Look at the discipline out of Team Falcons.
Information's gotten. Maal finds the opening. Keroro is done for. That is what RRQ want. A strong start. Nero's plushie being used. P9 trouble. Position revealed. He'll also be taken down. At the pair. And more on fire. He tries to pull up the chrono, but for how long will he survive? Surrounded by 3 players from RRQ. And RRQ gets 7 total eliminations and trouble the reigning club champions.
How is this happening? When we saw the Falcons throughout the entirety of this week, they were the ones hunting. They were the ones taking up that space and winning. But now, silence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he needs silence right now, though he doesn't have the stealth lights to pull away. Does have the Skylar, the Riptide with him, but I'm surprised they didn't use that to at least save their teammates, because they were covered in blue walls right there, and he does have an angle take when it comes to the snipe. But I guess priority is to bring back the teammates. Once one goes down, they always go for the vending machine.
The starting always for Falcons has been similar like this. The story, unfortunate for them. But right now, a change in Lions' favor right now. Twisted Minds, we saw them suffering a little because of Buriram United.
Hey Swastik, what's up? Finals is going on today.
This is a team that everybody did not have much expectations
EWC
on,
2 Indian teams are there
who made it at the top in Group
for
B.
Free Fire.
Diamond, the last
चलो
man, will have to make
TAG
a quick run, try to go in for a revive. But when we
सर्कल
talk
में
about the
थी
revival
अभी
and
वापस
the
से सर्कल में ही हो अच्छा
it's made
सर्कल
a
में अभी
revival
ऐसे
for
वाला
Battlers. It's moved
रिपेक्स को आगे
completely
जाना पड़ेगा
Yeah, this Hardshift's got about to be crazy. The southern side there, the shift, I would call it the Great Migration, is about to be insane. It's about to be bloody as well. And speaking of bloody, the Purang Serumput about to happen.
Well, let's see. This is a replay from where RRQ did manage to take down a few, or not a lot, of players out of Lost. Now, as we look back into RRQ, it's Twisted Mind, and they are challenging as well as Pina, who just got revived. But seems like they are still on no elimination streak.
RRQ have lost dots. They might have gotten the 8th elimination. Rans is in trouble. Riptide rhythm.
आप नहीं खेल रही मैं भी हूँ यार देखना मैं भी खेल रही हूँ मैं TAG छोटों के नाम से खेल रही हूँ लॉल नहीं तो मैं वसन्ना के मेरे 2 नेम है वो दोनों नेम से खेल रही हूँ मैं
Here we go there. Twisted Minds. Managing to find a bit more space to work with. Don't want to overstep. RRQ does have a bit more space to work with. They have no clue where the crossfires are coming through here. Sees one shot coming through here. One of his teammates does get picked up by Abe, but they're not dead.
के डबल डिजिट होने वाले हैं यार गाइस
Gonna drain down that utility.
Essentially, starting collect as many as possible, starting to 2 minutes and hold a good position and don't take advantage of the players. Just land after recall without losing early.
Suffering heavy losses wasn't taking into account of the crossfire and the lead rotation coming in for Twisted Minds. But Maal answers back. Abe will not be able to be saved here.
And Riptide Rhythm was deadly. If it wasn't for the time turner, they could have fallen already. Let's see though, because Twisted Mind, despite of all the elimination, it's RRQ who has the most on the numbers. But who's coming in to join the party? It is
लड़की स्ट्रेस में है जो आई है डिस्प्ले में RRQ का बैनर होल्ड किया है बट टेंशन में है
whatever Twisted Minds did is all put to rest.
Both teams are left with one, RRQ and Twisted Mind, and that's when they need to move. Because even before that battle ended, the zone is already moved away from them. There's a lot of travesty that might be happening right now because there's still a lot of teams waiting into the next foe.
And speaking about waiting here, Buriram United, as usual, quiet in that early game. But somehow, they've already gotten 5 eliminations here. TAG waiting in the wings. They need to take this fight to be able to get... Sorry, they will take the fight to keep...
TAG का 0 kills है यार, guys. We need to... They need to...
With the sprays on top side, bit of chip
Wasana
damage, but not more than that he can do.
Chrono being used by Team Apex Gaming. They will survive this, but there's Jonah. And the shield gun peppering them one after another. Jonah gets
my god.
well as he puts 2 of the players down. Wasana wants the confirmation. He's not letting them go. Along with Jonah, 2 players from Team Apex Gaming are put to rest. And Wasana wants to take this battle even closer.
Well, most people say don't go chasing waterfalls, but Brim Ryan is chasing them away from this area. And now they might be able to get in onto the next phase of Circle, but there's a lot of teams who has been forced onto the north right now, and we know that they're very near to the Riders Riders Club. And we'll have to find out there's a lot of contention that will be happening, especially for Team Falcons, who uses that as their drop. But going back to Buriram United, the battle's not yet over between them and Team AMX Gaming. Wolven being shot at with a quick scope from Jonah.
He just got dropped, and now even Sailjan. Jonah is looking unstoppable.
Oh my god.
With his 98K. That is 9 total eliminations, and Jonah has 7 of it. He has taken 7 of the
Joanna ko kya ho
eliminations.
gaya?
And Team Apex Gaming still stuck
7
in the same
solo
compound.
eliminations.
What does KD God and Shoto do to make it through from here?
At this point,
Come
just
on,
wait.
boys.
What can you do? You don't want to take this fight. You want to be able to survive and go for that reset here. But as for Buriram United, are they going to go hunting is the question. Might be. Decides to just move away from the area just for a little bit more time. Could cross paths to the players for Twisted Minds on the top side.
I want to see now in Buriram United, the same strategy that they have been doing for the longest time. Don't go into the next phase of the circle just yet. Just wait into the edge until it collapses. But there's still a lot of problems that need to face later on. And from what we're seeing for Team Falcons, they're holding their ground quite well. Despite of not getting elimination, they still have that high ground in Riders Club.
Lion, at least for the time being, safe keep. They activated Steffi. The painted refuge will protect them for the time being. But now they have to get closer. Falcon shots, they're not connected as best as they would have wanted, and the start has also not been great. However, an answer back is something that we spoke about. Tag have somehow found something. But Lion, their challenge and their entry, and they find a player from Twisted Minds somewhere in the scarce.
You know what's really crazy looking at Lion right now? They're able to not only take this fight, but even throw bodies as a 4. Evo's in trouble. Ray barely
Twisted
alive
Minds
right now, taking a lot of damage.
eliminated.
But
TLG से एक ही बचा है.
and now the Lal and the Wade. And speaking of Lal and Wade, their Fluxo, their members getting completely swarmed.
Oh, this is a battle that everyone has been waiting for. Buriram United going against Fluxo. But
Oh.
we've seen Fluxo
We are
lose
your
2 of
Flexo
their
होने वाला है.
players.
मजा
The
आएगा.
jump is on, but the shift of the zone might force them to move away. MT7 as well as Gia right now just holding their ground. But Jonah with that stealth bites, using that Moors. A surprise hit might be done. And great timing for the combination of Wasana as well as get high for that push and probably
Damn,
the
BRU.
elimination.
There's a counter. Gio for the timing, but doesn't work again. The shield gun coming through. And this time it's going to be get
Fluxo
high.
eliminated.
And Buriram
Oh,
United
damn.
Esports, they will be able to put a rest to that aggression. And with that, we also see SATUL Esports getting eliminated. A lot of losses, one after another, as Solara has very less space.
SATUL
Yeah,
eliminate
not
हो
a lot of
गई.
space, and everyone seems to have found a small part of that pie. But the Falcons, look at their positioning on the top of this building, and you've seen how much damage they can do with the snipers, with the long-range weapons, and most importantly, the ones on the bottom side here are going to have to compete for that space. Meanwhile, for
Shoto,
Shoto
come
in trouble,
on. Shoto
AGL
अकेले
putting that
बचा है
pressure onto
यार.
him, and this guy has been the hero for this team, pulling them out from so many very, very dire situations. But in this situation, they can't do more than that! Because it's going to be Buriram United steals away the point, and
Guys,
AGL
Indian
not
teams
one of this
eliminate
to
हो
work
गई
with.
यार.
AGL, they have just a bus to protect themselves, but on the other end, Buriram, they have an entire compound. It seems like a farming land for themselves. 15 eliminations. This is game number 1. They're looking unstoppable. Riptide Rhythm, they want to break down AGL. Nothing's working. Flash freeze, nades being tossed. Riptide Rhythm again. The AGL might get closer. Doesn't work. Varos is down. Cypher, Nameless, and you trying to close the distance. But AGL, their numbers have lost. 9 eliminations. Again, a player opening found was Sana. Might have been traded off by 2. Nameless is doing with the Trojan. Moshi holding it off. And now Wasana also down. Moshi, the only one, and AGL somehow have changed this.
Well, a quick revival for Buriram United might be the saving grace for Team Buriram United. AGL did put up a great fight, but 2 is still at it, and he is going for that 1v2. Will he be able to survive it? The answer is no, and they were going for a risky approach, especially in this phase 4 of the circle. That HP or that zone will be damaging their HP, and I don't know what could have been done at that point for AGAL, but Buriram United was just waiting for it. It's just unfortunate that they lost 2 of their players.
So Dinoculars used as well. Gives away the game for so many of these teams, but Buriram United not down and out yet. Loud is here, as Guacos will be the next victim. A little angle seen by Rasha, wants to be abused, a double swing as well, making sure that no one survives the initial skirmish. and the Lions cannot survive longer. Down and now 3 teams left.
Thanks to AimGod, Evos is still survived. But the dash coming out from Falcons, that was crazy. Almost ended up putting Evos to rest.
Yes.
This is an ending that we haven't seen for a long time. No full squad in contention. 3 remains, 2v2v2. But we are seeing Moshi. And there have been a lot of comments wherein Moshi could have been putting that much on the snipe already. But this is a place to really show up.
Look at the last 3 teams. How much do they have in surviving? Just 2 each. It's a 2v2v2. Evos, Loud and Buriram United. Evos are the defending EWC 25 champions. Now looking forward to EWC 26. Loud, they won the very first trophy for Brazil, and Buriram United won the biggest in the cabinet, that is EWC.
Jonah has been a heavy hitter for this game, but a box falls. Moshi, great shot coming in from the area. But the circle is shifting and everyone is just trying to find that space, but Loud is a little bit quicker to the zone. They have positions, they have the high ground angles, and it gives a lot of question marks for the rest of the teams for their rotations.
Well, as you say, first to the circle, first to the win. Let's see if they'll be able to pull it off. And God, not so much of contention. Even with a inhaler, he might not be able to survive.
Oh, damn.
To win this fight.
Crazy.
And now we have to deal with 2 players.
1v2, 1v2.
He got help from Loud. That is the reason Buriram United instantly shut down. But as you said, it is a 1v2. Look at him sneakily walking across, crouching, making shot. Loud have no idea, but BCP has spotted him. AimGod, SVD, can he connect the first? If he can bring it down to 1v1, it's better. But the information delayed. And as long as time passes, it is Loud that will surround him. And we know Nix, he's such a good player. And once he gets to the secret,
अगर इसने 1v2 कर दिया ना EVOS AimGod ने
forward here right now, he's able to just go for the 1v1.
लेफ्ट राइट कर रहे हैं ये लोग
His shots go wide,
हाँ
but the question
difficult था nice one Loud.
And Loud makes sure they secure their first booyah of the day.
Well played Loud.
Loud Snickers are the loudest to start the Free Fire here at Esports World Cup 26 Paris' Grand Finals.
अरे इसके हेडफोन का कुशन निकल गया.
And Nix, we knew he had this potential. They were waiting to get to the final, started off, and in the very first game for Brazil, they opened with a booyah.
Oh, this is what everyone has been looking forward to. Who's going to
Defending
get that first
chance,
booyah?
whoever gives the wings.
We also seen a lot of elimination from the other teams who didn't make it this far. Let's take a look at a replay right now, and this is one phenomenal play coming from Evos, but it's just unfortunate that the pressure is on, not only on those HP, but also on that zone.
Oh no, crazy work coming in from Loud as well. I think one thing is for sure though, we all had our favorites. We saw our favorite players just completely farming it out. But when it matters the most, that final moment, Loud prioritizing positioning over these fights.
Shark looks
so
like
much
an OD
extra
person जो
advantage.
अभी
Just
hack
give them
करके
not only
देता
the booyah, but those extra placement points.
Yeah, they needed it. They wanted a good start. We've been seeing Loud. We even spoke about it, right? In the group they were in, they were very consistent. They ended up getting 2 booyahs to start things off. But Buriram United Esports, unfortunate for them, they had an opportunity. They should have been the ones closing it. Look at it.
Hi Sahil
Without the booyah,
Bharadwaj.
they have 30 total points, 22 eliminations. If not for Loud Snickers, if not for Nix from that far angle, finding a clash and helping AimGod out, we would have seen Buriram with the win.
I mean, we've seen this side of Brim from before.
No.
Even in group stages.
Yeah.
Like, they did manage to get 23, so this is not even close to the record that they have. But I'm really loving this side of BRU. The aggression is really needed, especially in first match of the day, because it's not just the booyah that is needed by the team in this early parts. It's more of farming the numbers to get to that
What
90.
about you?
You know what's really
Good
insane? I
too.
think I said to them, well, it's going to be a bit more quiet from Buriram United early, and it was. But throughout all of that, Jonah was farming so many eliminations. Out of all of that, I believe he had like, what, 13 to 15 eliminations by himself. And for now, who better to break it down for us other than the analyst later? We'll be right back before we go to that.
हिंदी वाला भी सोच सकते हो अगर इसमें
गए, पर मुझे ऐसा लगा शायद एक्शन रिप्ले देखने के बाद कि शायद लाउड स्पीकर्स के कुछ खिलाड़ियों ने क्षति पहुंचाई थी वहां पे बुरीराम यूनाइटेड के कुछ प्लेयर्स को, अन्यथा वो क्लच अगर वहां पे नहीं निकलता तो बुरीराम यूनाइटेड जिस किस्म के फॉर्म में है, जिस किस्म से वो एलिमिनेशन निकाले, स्पेशली जो है ना, देखिए जीतने वाले टीम का खिलाड़ी एमवीपी बनता, अगर मैं गलत हूं करीबन 1 डजन एलिमिनेशन निकाले कप्तान जोइन ने पिछले मुकाबले में।
जहां तक मैंने देखे थे
शार्क क्या कह रहे हैं समाचार?
इनका कंट्रीब्यूशन मोर देन 50% था। अगर 4 खिलाड़ियों का कंट्रीब्यूशन
ये शार्कशी हाउ आर यू? आई एम गुड।
खिलाड़ियों की जिम्मेदारी
व्यूज इतने नहीं आ रहे, किसके नहीं आ रहे हैं? इंग्लिश ही रहना। डू यू नो द
चलिए बात करते हैं यहाँ पे और चीजों के बारे में। देखिए AWC 2026 से
W7M in the past, and now we are Fluxo W7M. Literally hugged me and made me part of the family. I feel that I'm part of everything that's happening, and they give me the chance to come here, and for real, it's like more family than my family real. Mostly important game on Brazil since they made a chance for everyone.
कितने बुया आज आया नहीं अभी तक यार इंडियन टीम का। टिप्स दे दो फॉर रेगुलर। इसमें टिप्स क्या है? उठो और स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट करो। देखो रेगुलर स्ट्रीमिंग तो मेरे से खुद से नहीं होता, तो मैं तुम्हें क्या टिप दूंगा? एवरी डे मैं खुद नहीं कर सकती। जय कर्नाटका। Not a good start for tag, yeah, bro. कहाँ गई यार? टैग का कल परसों वाला मोमेंटम चाहिए सेम। W advised just facts.
Never came to this side of Europe.
We only need a booyah for 90 points.
Eiffel Tower in day night Paris looks
But
like
काफी टीम पॉइंट वाइज काफी आगे चली गई है अभी। होपफुली ये लोग कवर कर पाए अभी नेक्स्ट।
So it's very very beautiful.
Well, let's get loud here for free
PVX25.
Conchita, and look, the Brazilian
आज
teams
white
are
heels चलिए, क्या
arguably
कहना
some
है?
of the best teams that we have in the competition today, and they have a lot to try and earn today, taking over the Southeast Asia's team. They really, really want this, and of course, Loud coming out with 33 points and 22 eliminations. Kajito, what an exceptional start for our Brazilian teams.
Yes, of course, but if we're talking about Brazilian teams, isn't it also a surprise to see Lost got sent back really soon to the lobby, and RRQ from Indonesia was the one who got them sent back? I mean, yes, RRQ did drop at Delta Isle and they had to fight their way through Lost. They managed to get out. I mean, I am pretty proud of RRQ today, even though they didn't get that much points. They had to
Paneer
fight
language.
against Falcons, which they
Thanks for
managed
the
to edge
duels,
out. They
Warrior.
also had a very intense meeting with Twisted, who almost got them twisted. But all in all, EFOS Divine was also very phenomenal. I mean,
पनीर
that was
मॉड
the
के लिए
last one
recommend
with
दे
Aegon as the last man
और
standing.
किसको बना
I
सकती
am
हूँ?
just
कौन
so
रेगुलर है
excited.
चैट में से?
Of course, we want to
Give
see all
more
these teams do
recommendation.
incredibly well, but it looks like Loud is
Because I
leading
think
the
right
pack
now
at the
you're
moment, but
alone
of
now in
course,
the chat.
we're going to get the game
Modding.
started sooner than later.
I'm from
And let's throw it over to
Karnataka.
Tats,
Thank
loose
you,
them up.
thank you.
Let's go.
And also
180
Neptune, it's okay, I haven't
points के
forgotten
बाद
you.
points matter नहीं
Now,
करते।
you know, we are
Champion
hearing
rush
right now that
activate
Loud is
हो जाता है
currently
जिसमें
the
सिर्फ
team that
kills
is leading the
करनी
pack, at least in terms of Booyah.
ही
But
आप first आ
points-wise
जाते
though,
हो। Okay.
it's still in favor of Buram United. After all, it is the first map, but showcasing our skills on the second map when everyone's in momentum is going to change.
Yeah, well, definitely it needs to change right now because from what we're seeing, they're already 1/3 of what is needed right now to be able to
7.6
activate
points
that match
Indian
point.
team
But
के
judging
अपने।
from where everyone is dropping for the flight path that we have, and you know for a fact that this is my favorite map. The ski flight
SHL
path or
corner
somewhat ski flight
jump.
path that we've seen might have forced the
TAG
team
South
to go
corner.
in for those hot drops. But look at that.
अरे यार
Fluxo
TAG का फिर
and
से
Team
फ्लुक्सो के
Apex
साथ
Gaming.
फाइट होगा
I think
यार।
they're going to start it hot on that golf course.
Sahil Jad is the closest, and there it is.
फ्लुक्सो के
Bullets
साथ
being
फिर
rattled.
से फाइट।
Mini Uzi, but also a
Oh
scar
my
on
god,
hand.
come
Dash
on!
to Buxton. Being used, but I don't think he has enough resources for the very start. And Buxton is quick.
उसको
on
लूट
it.
भी नहीं
Gets
मिला
the
होगा
very first
जंप करते ही
elimination of
स्टार्ट।
our match 2. I really like that you mentioned this match point. Everybody needs to understand it's no more about getting to the top of the charts. It's about reaching 90 points, and that's what EVOs want to do, but will be failed because of Cypher. AGL also missed their opportunity just because of how Buriram somehow held themselves, because AGL looked like they were about to shut down Buriram.
Yeah, I mean, the silent AGAL was there, almost getting into it.
Bhai,
But
she's
now,
married.
with
ये
that
सब तो हंसी
Cypher
मजाक है, she's
elimination,
pretty
they're
anyway.
now ahead of Evo's. But we'll have to see.
Healthy
because we
crashes
still have
ठीक
Ray
है.
and Rassia in
Healthy
play.
crashes
Only
normal.
Woodpecker coming
I
from Ray.
think which
This
is
could be the
non
game
creepy
changer.
चलता
If
है.
in case Adu moves up
Sharkshe
that
हाँ जी,
hill,
chat
but
में
knowing
gift कर
Adu
देंगे
and
सब.
knowing the potential of
I'm
any
not
other
hungry, I'm
sniper in this
sleepy.
competition, he will not be going there.
हाँ बीच में breaks में can I sleep? Chat. Can I
from
sleep?
EVOS this early. I would say around disadvantages have been, I would say, saved so many times
Come on,
from these
SHUL.
teams. Regardless, as we look through the area right now, no one's really too actively going for fights. But the southern side, though, very interesting to me.
While we were discussing about how the southern side would be, where teams will be fighting out
Korean,
Buriram,
I'm
again,
quite
find one
regular,
more
ask money.
on EVOS.
Regular
It
और
seems
थोड़े
like Buriram is
mature भी
looking
चाहिए जो
unstoppable.
not
They do
संभाले.
not want to stop, but so does even
Come on,
Tag. Side
Shoto,
up might have been lost,
finish
but now
कर
an
दी.
opportunity for Shoto. Maal spotted.
माल को मार
But
सकता था
damage is
वो.
the only thing that was done. No knock. And good for Shoto is the entire RRQ is still not here. So Tag is rallying towards this fight.
And from what I'm seeing, we have 3 teams on the southern island of Purgatory. And Fire Brigade might need those fire trucks later on because RRQ then managed to start it off, but a lightning zone just to make sure that they have a little bit of advantage when they try to go in for a rush on Central. And they are targeting Team Apex Gaming, but Team Apex Gaming knows what they need to be done. Lightning zone is here. Just hide out on those rooftops.
And most importantly as well, we also seeing the rotations coming in from the Falcons. But meanwhile, over on this side, Lost currently wanting to catch up in the points that they had missed out earlier. Now Rahone on one side here, tagged onto EVOS players, but Abax from downtown managing to steal the point away. But they're not done quite yet. Being so aware of the positioning where Yago is and the rest, AGL also close by.
Very difficult for MRVA loss. They were not only fighting with one team, but AGL, look at Cypher. This might be a distraction because his teammates are close by. But defending a 1v1 is going to be difficult with Yago lost. MRBR lost. They already went out with 0 points in the previous game, and now if they do it, it's going to be even more tougher.
You might be right with that Cypher being the bait, and there goes the
Oh,
first time ever in EWC, we see
shit.
that knock up with that vehicle, and they only have 1 left out of MIBR lost, but nothing is lost right now. A full revive has happened.
Yeah, and now they go again, this time against EVOS. AimGod takes a bit of damage here, Barrows bought a bit of time, and throughout all that, AMAX has already been stolen away into the lobby. AimGod tries to go for the reset. Valiant dashes away to safety for the time being. EVOS stuck, rushes forward. HP so very low by AimGod, but now
Team
Murray
Apex eliminated.
gonna be swarmed by all the members of AGAL, not able to survive.
This is why your skills are important. Electrotherapy protecting them for far so long. That is the reason EVOS couldn't fight back. They had only 2 members and them getting taken down. Thankfully, that's not a full elimination, but there was an elimination that happened. That is Team Apex Gaming and Falcons. Seems like game number 2 is their comeback.
LSEDO, they can come back right now. They are just going into the edge of a circle, still hanging on that south side, and they thought they might be able to find someone on Central, but they were a little bit too late to party right now. But from what we're seeing, they are gathering all the loot that they have, and they're just going for the basic gameplay. Silent in the beginning, and then deadly towards mid to end. But the only question though is how are they going to find their way into the next phase of the circle? We still have a few moments before it closes in and the second phase shows up, but the battle between AGAL and EVOS is not yet done.
EVOS, what is happening? ABAX will be able to look at AGAL Cypher. Right to the face with the M590 Valiant Dash. And now another conversion. 9 elimination. AGL, what they missed out because of Buriram in the previous game, they want to make it happen. 30 points what Buriram pulled off. AGL want to do it. This is what we've been talking. Buriram have earned titles. They are our World Series global champions of 25. Now they want an EWC championship in their name. Falcons, they want to get back to their winning ways that they had in 24. They want another EWC title for themselves and 6 total eliminations.
In this situation as well, The lull, the silence is here, but the middle side of the map is very interesting as Fluxo does manage to hunt down the members of RRQ somewhere there. We see Troll also falling, Evos as well suffering heavy damage. This map, what looks quiet on this side, is hectic on the rest of the areas.
Well, let's see now, because we are looking at Lost right now, who might be chilling like a villain at this moment, but we are seeing a few players, not only from Team Falcons from the south, but also RQ from the north. So the pinch might happen right now, but again, we are just waiting for the shift of that next phase. And as you see it, both of the three of the teams are in there right now. And look at the numbers that these players has been bringing in. And we have highlighted already, Brim United. The number that they can put in the fight, that only shows why Jonah and Moshi is the best players so far in this lobby.
But you see in the mix of it, there's Dew.
Oh, Bunny, no.
That was the reason how AGL almost looked like they would survive. Did not still, but now this is game 2. Purgatory.
रेसिड्यूल में एक ही बचा है अभी और उन्होंने एलिमिनेशन भी किया इंडियन टीम्स का स्टार्ट नूर ओ शिट नूर ही तो बचा है बस
They want their points, but Maal 77 says that is going to be an elimination, and right at the riverbank
Indian teams out.
SATUL's chances once again.
Well, Maal, the deadly sniper from Indonesia.
भाई वो पानी से क्रॉस किया शार्क यू हैड अ चांस टू एलिमिनेट
Me? But I know there is a plan. They are the mastermind into the stealth mode with that. The stealth bites using that more skill. They might be heading in to where this engagement is happening between Loud and
General taking a lot of damage right now. Bare Life managing to just survive. The pressure coming in from Loud, this high ground, gives them so much value. But Joker, on the other side, they're managing to pick off here, but Loud hasn't been moved quite yet. The lightning zone does come through. General falls, and now Keroro, the Falcons, decide to join in as well. BZP still hasn't picked up alright. Keroro finding a nice angle to work with, goes a bit wide, finally getting that shot onto Nyx, but the Falcons as well are suffering heavy damage. Bina, Keroro fall, and right now, both teams are barely alive. What are they to do here? Because the RRQ gang has decided to join in.
Falcons had a second chance. They instantly went for the revive. So there is a lifeline for them. But Loud, they're trapped. Trap was the only savior. He used the M79 to bail it out, but he is certainly surviving at the bottom of the hill. And RRQ now charging in. They will get it on fire. That's an added elimination. But can he hold off? Can Falcons actually make a comeback? They're close by. If he holds off for the time being, then RRQ, they might get surrounded once again.
Now that's one thing that we can depend on Fire. He can go for the distraction while the rest of the team is setting up.
International teams are playing very aggressive. Aggressive तो खेलेंगे ही ना भाई finals है. Finals में कोई chill मार के थोड़ा खेलता है.
AGL has inserted a coin. He is now ready to be the next challenger in this battle. But from this moment, once the second
इंडियन टीम स्टार्ट में ही मर जाती तो क्या देखूं यार मैं हाय शार्क हाय
You want to be able to keep up. Again, we started this match.
Brewer Leon are playing so good. Lion, Blue and even Falcons.
To run away with that. We talked a little bit about Buram United having a quiet start, and this map in particular has been extra for them as well. However, positioning-wise, they look really good right now, taking their time, and it's just open areas in front of them. They don't really have to really fight their way into the zone.
Fighting.
जाहिर रहा ऐसा क्या?
Game today. Everybody has to, because of the match point condition that they have to fulfill if they want to become the champions at the end of the day. Fluxo, not the best start that they have also had here in Purgatory. How do they get out of it? They go back towards the vending machine to recover their players first. A revival point is also close, but they have enough coins and they will get the player back up. 4 all strong together.
Now so far for Fluxo, they do have 3 of those team boosters put up, and one of which
आपको तो SATL की लाइनअप पहले फ्री फायर गेमिंग की 6 months पहले और इन्हें स्क्रीम आउट टूर्नामेंट से बैन कर दिया था. लोगों ने कहा ये हैकर्स है, उसके बाद इनका डिवाइस चेक किया फ्री फायर में आज तक हुआ थे. श्रीमान भाव पूरे गुस्से में क्या भाव? भाव की टीम है तो गुस्सा तो नहीं होंगे, थोड़ा ये होंगे स्ट्रेस अपसेट में भी.
will be able to do it and fly away.
This situation here, the wait is on. I mean, both teams very, very comfortable in their little corners of that map. I'm just waiting for this initiation to happen now. Now, looking at everyone right now, the Lion, plays
Hi,
Luxo and
Rahul.
Lion later on a rotation would be interesting to see, but Abe pressuring the members onto the other side here. No one is truly comfortable, regardless of whether or not they are in the zone.
RQ is happy they got this spot. Falcons left it and the circle still keeps the position of the containers and they will keep it. AGL, however, they know about this position. Falcons, because they left this position and moved towards the vending machine, they also have an idea. So right now, RRQ have to be wary that their enemies in the closest surroundings, and especially that they're out in the open, anybody could target them. But targeting, when we speak about it, Twisted Minds, they did that in Group B and took the top spot. And now what do they do to get those points?
Well, let's see though, because they are very close against Team Falcons and also Trap from behind, and they get the next phase of the circle, so no one will be moving away from campsite. But for those who are surrounding as well as jumping in across that river, trouble is brewing. Grim United against Fluxo once again, and let's see though who's going to win. The lightning zone has been triggered and no one is moving that much because they don't want to hit by that bolt maker. But from what we've seen from Fluxo, they are just holding their ground, not letting Grim United in. The gatekeep is on.
Yeah, the high ground here is good, but Wasana great to take away that space, and they are going to
Wasana.
collapse. Great work from Fluxo to take away that space to keep the rest of Buram United at bay. MT7 just now.
आज कितने मैच है डिसाइडिंग आज ये है जिसने 90 पॉइंट्स और ये बुया निकाला वो जीत जाएगा.
But meanwhile, for Loss, gonna take this fight head on against AGAL.
It might be a loss. So far, still no eliminations, but they're close to AGAL, who have the highest in the lobby, 11 in total. Can there be more for AGL, or is it going to be vice versa? It might be a loss. Open up with their very first. Damage being done. Valiant dash being used. Rigby with the Bison finds Barros. That is the opening, and they're all stuck inside the away. This is going to be difficult. Cypher also caught out. Surrounding with the glue walls. General jumping across the board. And Rigby finds another that's nameless. And then the last to answer with that AGL will be put to rest. And MIB are lost.
India is not gonna win. क्या यार क्या hater हो यार क्या anti हो तुम आर्यन थोड़ा supportive थोड़ा positive बनो.
They do have the windows open, but speaking of windows open, window is opening for Team Falcons, especially with limit on those knives. And same goes with Twisted Mind. And who is the target? The one and only Wasana, who is just going solo right now. And that's 1 out of 2 remaining players. Make that one or none about one remaining players out of Buram United.
Yeah, cannot really move, but Moshi is still around. The question is whether or not he's going to be able to survive all the way till the end. As for Twisted Minds, they have all the idea in the world now to take out Trap, to be able to take away space from the Falcons. Now, it's going to be difficult. You don't know where exactly everyone's going to be. The lack of information keeps the players at bay. And while all of that is happening, Joker had already been knocked down there by Made in Brazil Loss.
It might be a loss. They needed this opening, they needed this start, and now they're getting eliminations. But the next best team after AGL going out is going to be Twisted Minds with 10 eliminations. But RRQ, they instantly get put out. What was this by Fluxo? Butsin, MT7, all of them together put RRQ out. And now
Do you have coach who's played well? आज we had you AGL, he was who they are, what they can do, why they are the world champions. यार ऐसे ही होगा तो फिर इंडिया कब आएगी?
Final player from BRU will be taken down. Now the battle is not yet over. It is MIBR against Fluxo right now. But from what we see, Butsin is just that aggressive F590 hand, and the rest of the squad is just waiting. They split up on a 2-2.
Fluxo, they need this chance. MIB a loss on the other end. Rigby, the man who was finding the openings, he's been taken down. Yu is the one, but Glue Wall will protect. They will be able to bring the player back up, but there is MT7. He puts the player General down, and Fluxo are turning this against their own counterparts from the region. Confirmation on
Falcons
Rigby.
out.
Rawan and Yago, the last survivors. Bobs is down. This is an opportunity. But Sen with a dash, instantly trying to put one player down, but he will get knocked with the Max 7. Coming down to a 1v1, and it's MD7. He finds and ends MIB a loss.
And now
ऐसे जो टैग के डोमिनेट इंडियन लॉबी होगी. कल तो अच्छा डोमिनेट किया यार. कल थोड़ा ना थी इंडियन लॉबी. कुछ तो जीत गई बाप रे
Throughout it all, Twisted Mind's patience will be rewarded with a booyah.
Patience truly is a virtue. No, they didn't really rush in.
यार ये लैंड की
Right
ट्रॉफी
there.
हो
They
सकती है
know the
अकॉर्डिंग टू
timing that they have to take. Even got a few elimination from afar.
Come
As I
on,
always say, aggression
Indian
from a
teams.
distance, and this is where they can get all those points. The only question though is it enough?
Yeah, is it enough? I think that's the question everybody's asking themselves. How many points did we acquire? Where did we end up? Especially because in that last fight, right, except for Twisted Minds who know they got the booyah and they have 12 points, everybody else is wondering, is our elimination as well as placement points enough for us to get back towards the top 5? Because I think at the end of game 2, that's what they have to think about.
It's a good story as well for Twisted Mind right now, because imagine, ending the previous map or starting this current game with only 5 points. So they need that additional 12 points from Booyah as well as any elimination that they managed to pull in that game. But I'm really looking forward to some of the shuffle that will be happening on the leaderboard in a bit, because there's a lot of engagement that we've seen from that match.
We are starting to see, I would say, the consistent teams really just rise to the top, right? But most importantly, right now, I like to
मैं
say that
फ्लिक्सअप को गाली देने वाला जब तक उसके फैंस दिख
not being able to come play or at least shoot back in map 1 are starting to rise again in this map.
Posso falar? Agora.
देखो इनके कॉल इनके कॉम्स कितने काम होते हैं और हमारे वाले तो हमने देखी भी कल कैसे होते हैं
happy about it because they again ended up coming in the hashtag too, because that is enough points to keep them at the top. However, Twisted Minds from Thailand, this is a team
Actually,
that
next
while the
buying
other
more
Thailand
series.
teams who are in the top with 1 title,
I hope.
this is not a team that everybody is eyeing on.
Soon.
But they managed to get the second booyah. This is why today's
Ladies, यार जल्दी दे दे यार
we were
balance.
expecting that anything can happen. You cannot count on one team. If you think Buriram is going to get it, no. Right now, just Twisted Minds did it. Buriram should have had the first booyah, but Loud got it. A lot going on throughout our matches now.
You did mention a second booyah, so technically this is a second booyah of Twisted Mind all throughout the competition. And we rarely see them really on the top 3. 4 out of 12 from when
नहीं
they
F1 का
in Group B, when they end up in top 3. But
इंडिया
this
की
is
रोड्स
just
देखिए
them
तुम लोग ने
switching it up.
सड़कें देखिए F1 कार चलेगी यहाँ पे मुझे लगा है टैग में मुझे जाना पड़ेगा तभी कुछ होगा
But it did fail, so why not change it up?
Yeah, I mean, changing it up is always really good as well. It throws the, other teams in the lobby, off as well. But what
अब
I
क्रश
really
होने
like to
वाले
see as well is just
कर्नाटका
really being
क्या
able
बात
to
है
just really
टेक
take
माय
your
वर्ड्स
time.
नेक्स्ट गेम विल
Being
बी
really
वन बाय
patient is also really
इंडियन
good. We
टीम
have teams
मेरे
that
को
are
भी लग
really,
रहा है
really aggressive and high energy, and somehow they just really just run out of gas in after this.
There's an interview. Let's send it over
Watch
to Karen.
Chakrario chat.
Hello everyone, Carol Bombshell here. It's a pleasure to be here on stage with you guys. Are you guys enjoying Free Fire? The first 2 matches was amazing, but not as amazing that was for this guy over here. Trap, the team captain for Loud's team. And of course, you guys had a great start today. You started with a booyah for sure. It was amazing for you. So how important it is to get off to a strong start in the finals so you can reach the match point. Como é que foi para vocês começarem já com um buiazão aí, né? Já tirar essa pressão aí de dentro. É muito importante para vocês já darem esse primeiro buia?
Com certeza, a confiança que já estava alta vai ainda mais lá em cima. Um buia e um top 2 agora, mesmo com a dificuldade da queda, conseguir segurar o top 2 aí. E é isso, não sei ainda a posição que nós está na tabela, mas estamos muito confiantes.
Awesome. As a Brazilian team has never won a WC before. What would it mean to bring the first AWC Free Fire trophy home to Brazil? O time brasileiro nunca ganhou o EWC, isso é certo, a gente já sabe. O que significaria para você, como jogador, e para o time da Loud serem os primeiros campeões do EWC, os primeiros brasileiros campeões do EWC?
Se tudo correr bem, vai ser incrível, né? Porque ninguém ganhou ainda no Brasil. E quando você consegue uma coisa única, é ainda mais satisfatória. E a gente quer muito ser campeão mundial. E ser campeão mundial de uma coisa que ninguém tem vai ser melhor ainda.
Amazing. So basically what he said was, I'm going crazy right now because getting the first booyah here give us such a great confidence. We get more secure. We can team up even better. We are really happy, but I'm definitely going crazy because I want to know in which position we are in the standings. We know that Brian was in the first after the first match, but right now we want to know in which positions we find ourselves. And of course, Being
Watch
the
it,
first Brazilian team to win at AWC 26 would mean a lot to
Wow.
us, especially representing
इसका
Loud
look
right now.
देखो।
We know that we can get
कितनी
there,
सुंदर
and
लग
that's
रही है।
our
सर
mission
का
and
accessory
our
देखो,
goal for
diamonds
today.
पहना है सर
Thanks so
पे।
much for the
Eye
interview,
makeup,
Trav. We wish you the best
earring,
of
wow,
luck for you guys.
beautiful.
And of course, me and you are gonna
She's
watch a
giving
lot
Egyptian
more of Free
goddess
Fire. So
vibes.
keep it up with us
Look
and
at her.
back to the
Just look
studio.
at her. So beautiful. I love her attire today. Ignore him, Sakshi. She's my cousin. Do you know your cousin, brother? PBX को एक क्रश है एक एंकर पे, वो जब आएगी मैं दिखाऊंगी तुम्हें. सेलेस्टियल मैं बताऊंगी भाई हूँ मैं इसका, ये बहाने हैं EWC तो बाकी. अच्छा इसकी क्रश है बाय द वे, एक आती है स्किन में, मैं बताती हूँ. इसकी पोल खोलती हूँ मैं, रुको. शार्क स्टे हाइड्रेटेड, स्टे हाइड्रेटेड. ला 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 ला. ला 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 ला. साक्षी अब ऐसे. हाँ हाँ बताओ, पकड़े गया वो तू तो. हाँ आने दे उनको, स्क्रीन पे मैं बताती हूँ कौन है. और इसने उसकी इंस्टाग्राम आईडी वगैरह सब कुछ ढूंढ के रख दिया, किसी को पता नहीं था चैट में. सबसे पहले इसी ने ढूंढ ली है इस इंस्टाग्राम आईडी उसकी. शार्क से वाला बाय लिखा है तेरी अच्छी नींद के लिए, बताओ. ये वाले नहीं है, ये वाले शी इज आल्सो वेरी प्रीटी बट इट्स नॉट हर.
Talk with both of you because I know there's a competition going on in Brazil soil, but I want to know all about here at AWC 26. MT7, you share with us your desire to be the MVP, but also the winner here. So what's more important for you right now, the MVP or to be the winner? Qual que é o seu maior desejo? Você contou pra gente que você quer ser o campeão.
भाई ये लोग दोनों के बिल्ड्स देखो, ये लोग ई स्पोर्ट प्लेयर्स है, जिम भी जाते हैं दोनों एकदम.
Sem sombra de dúvidas nenhuma ser campeão, mas se vier um campeão MVP já tá bom demais pra mim também, né?
What happens if you're the winner but Iago is the MVP? E se acontecesse de você ser o campeão e o Iago MVP?
Ah não, tá de boa. Aí depois eu pego no Brasil e tá tudo tranquilo também.
Oh, that's okay, because he can be the MVP here, and then I will, of course, get it back in Brazil when we are back home. But Iago, you're finally back in a World Championship. What is the feeling to be back here at AWC after 2 years? Você tá de volta num campeonato mundial e qual é o sentimento de estar aqui depois de 2 anos?
Ah, sempre é muito bom, né? Disputar em alto nível, ainda principalmente no Mundial, como EWC também, que é muito importante para todos, então é muito bom. E agora espero manter para muito tempo aí em vários mundiais.
Did you see that Baby Gold said he wants the MVP and also be the winner? What do you think of that? Você viu que ele falou, né, que ele quer ser o MVP e também o campeão. O que você acha disso?
Bom, é muito bom para ele, mas só que acho que todos os outros que estão aqui também sonham e querem ser MVP. Então é um bagulho muito difícil e todo mundo, ele tá certo, todo mundo tem que ter esse desejo, essa ambição de querer ser MVP e ser campeão. Então ele tá certo.
Well, if his desire is the desire of most of players here, he definitely right, because all of us wanted.
इसमें से है क्या तेरी cousin Celestial आयु हियर? इसमें से guess कर which one? Gracias. I don't know why I actually attracted. Wait, please don't do black magic on me. Black magic नहीं आता मुझे.
And from what we've seen there, that's just the usual way for Birmingham United. Just go in and grab the numbers as early as possible, so that just in case anyone can catch up or they lose out on one game, they already have invested a few points.
Celestial, correct. It's the left one, grey and white. महाकाल welcome to Shark fam 14 months क्या बात है इससे अच्छा तो आप इंटरव्यू लेते हो thanks
They're currently just not being able to perform against the top dogs. We'll see if maybe a switch up is going to happen with those.
he knows my gist.
You want to talk about Evos?
Yes, I want to talk about Evos and RRQ in particular because boy, oh boy, my teams were booked and busy the first two maps. I think it's just a little bit unluckiness when it comes to the drop zone because especially RRQ, if you're talking about Purgatory, that means they're going to have to go through a lot of themes. And yeah, it was right. They have to go through Falcons. They have Apex scamming on their way. So it was definitely a hard early game.
कौन सी language है ये? ये तो English है.
They were also forced to be separated by Fluxo. They lost Abai. That was a huge hit. So I think and I hope that RRQ could be more wise when it comes to the rotation and change a bit of their drop zones on the next coming games.
What I know is Evos is hype right now because AIM got that 1v2 clutch towards the end. That was phenomenal. I was expecting that he will be going down. The zone is behind him and two opponents is already closing in.
Yeah, they were definitely closing in. I think nobody was expecting it. Good thing we don't have a behind-the-scenes camera in our green room because the screams that you would hear, the reactions that you would hear, we might have to end up bleeping a lot of stuff here for the broadcast. Talking about teams being loud, we got to talk about the Brazilian squad loud.
And speaking of not, filming anything in the back because
चलता है PBS.
Honestly, for the Brazilian teams, I mean, I was saying these teams have arguably
पनीर भाई कौन है वैसे मेरे mod है.
In international tournaments, so getting the win today, it means so much more to them for their region. And honestly, I think it was like all three of them advanced from obviously the group stages. So to have all three Brazilian teams representing, but of course, Loud is leading the pack in that one. After that first
लंबा break है क्या मैं सो जाऊँ क्या थोड़ा?
Team captain, they're feeling really good about this, and it looks like they're still incredibly level-headed. But like to come out with I thought it was 33 points from the first match. They're not at the top of the leaderboard. He was kind of saying like, I wonder where we're sitting. I'm itching to see where we're sitting. I mean, knocked down to second place, but still very much in contention to win this thing.
Yeah, the Indian teams were not able to continue on with the consistency or the momentum that they were able to get yesterday. One team that was able to carry on some momentum coming into the first two matches was none other than Lion. They started off hot and they're feeling confident too. We saw them willing to take fights early on.
Yeah, especially in Solara, Eco Drain, they were just rocking that fight. And anyone who goes into the compound, anyone who goes into Eco Drain, they will expect a roaring lion in there. Because not only does it have a vending machine, just in case one of their players will be knocked out or eliminated, they can easily go for a revive and do it once again. But that's 4 teams, if I'm not mistaken, 4 teams or 3 teams who introduced themselves against a lion, and lion stayed alive.
I mean, they're carrying that same strength from the survival stage yesterday. So not only did they go through the groups, they were in survival, and we didn't know where they were going to place, but they have that same sort of passion and aggressive play style that we saw from yesterday, bringing it into today's games. And it looks like, Lion's going to be leading the pack. They're doing incredibly well.
A team that wants to stride that lead as well, just make sure they kind of hunt that down and don't let it get too far away, was the team that actually just got a booyah, Twisted Minds.
Yes, Twisted Minds were also very amazing. I mean, they went from getting 0 placement point and just 5 elimination points to getting a booyah. That is quite a turnabout. I mean, that last game, 17 elimination points. That was awesome for Twisted Minds. And mind you, this is only the second booyah that they have the whole entire tournament. So I think things are looking up for Twisted Minds. Also, Thailand has got 4 representatives at the EWC 2026
I threw my cards at the first Twisted
Minds.
Neptune doubted me. I don't know.
So I think personally, it's not just Buriram United Esports that we have to keep an eye for. It's also Twisted Minds. They are slowly getting there points by points.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, Twisted Minds, the first time when we saw them, they're all aggression. They got no regard of whatever placement they get. As long as they get elimination, it doesn't matter. This is just, probably they tried it in game number 1. And as you called it, they didn't do too well. Only 5 points out of that game, and then a second, let's be a little bit smart. Let's play it safe, and you've seen how well they distanced themselves from all the engagement that happened, and did manage to get that big booyah.
Yeah, we talked about earlier as well player performances. If we go back to the first match for Buriram, Joanna, 13 eliminations, absolute carry, and then we saw what Aim God, if I'm not mistaken, was able to do in that 1 versus 2. Is there any players coming up in this next 2 matches that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, Conchita?
I do think that Joanna's still going to kill it. I mean, Buriram has 2 person that I'm keeping an eye out for is Joanna and Moshi, because let's not forget that 6 elimination points he got in just 1 game. So yeah, I'm definitely not gonna go easy on them. The other team should be gunning for Buriram United Esports right now if they don't want to lose those points.
And one personality of Buriram United is they...
Thanks for the jewels. Shashma to nikal ke dekho.
Jonah is already in there. Moshi already showed
Nahi.
up. So I won't be surprised.
I'm good with the chashma.
The rusher and support, Kwasana and Get High will be grabbing the next one.
And I mean, we're seeing a massive improvement from them, even from EWC in 2025 as well. Like this team obviously have, you know, won their World Series, and now you can not only do that with doesn't want that, but now if they can win that World Series and then EWC 26 and
टुक्सो की साइड में ALE के मजे एक तरफ ALE
Just win everything for the year. Why not? Talk about all this one player that I would like to see him being able to show up here.
Appreciate yourself for doing long stream for us to see. Are. Hi Shaka, what's up? बेटा तू बाहर मिल ओ क्या फाइटिंग चल रही है तुम दोनों की I so wish I was the mod Celestial was gone.
I think we have to mention him too, Neptune. It's MT7. I feel like we need to see some performances that we're seeing out of the other players.
Now that you mentioned the both players right now. So
PBX25 आप क्या करते हो? आप थोड़े वेले फ्री होगे तो मैं आपको मॉड दे दूंगी, बट आपको फिर सारी स्ट्रीम्स मॉड करनी पड़ेंगी. अगर आप बिजी रहोगे तो फिर मैं नहीं दे सकती मॉड. I need to be the mod. I'm the OG. Mods are only given for people who can sit throughout the streams, girl.
End up seeing a 1v1. Match 3 is ready. Who's going to be taking a couple more?
Guys, see how difference एक अच्छा game and that's it. हाँ एक अच्छा game चाहिए एक.
AJ, take it away for me.
Yeah, boy, thank you very much. 7 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is AJ. I'm the Mustache down here with the one and only Husky, your OG duo of Free Fire, right back on the desk. And man, are the games hot today. Buriram absolutely streaking hot in game number 1, but game 2, Husky, they fizzled out.
Yeah, they did fizzle out, and it was something that, you know, was in the making for almost more than a year.
Yeah.
This is one of the teams that people want them to fill up that cabinet, the final piece of the puzzle with the EWC trophy. But last year, they didn't even hit the threshold to win EWC in Riyadh. And right now, they are a third of the way there. They are more than 30 points towards the threshold of 90. I think a couple more good rounds, give it 2 or 3, BRU, they are going to be in.
Come on, guys. Team India, come on.
At Shrines, do we get a hot drop? Because we know
Tag और ऐसे तो last है यार अपने team से फिलहाल at the moment.
The foundation instead. The MIBR loss will not be disturbed for the time being, but they cannot take that for granted.
नहीं, I think ये random है. ये random है.
From EVOS as they like sticking towards the outer regions of this map before hopping on towards Refinery. And Refinery, on the other hand, is conquered as usual by the kings of Refinery themselves, RRQ.
My attention is going
ऐसे तो अच्छी जगह है, आसपास कोई है नहीं. तरते ही fight नहीं होगा.
General not going to be playing this game. A second thing is also the rotation of BRU.
Oh my god. उतरते ही फिर से BRU.
By Lion instead, BRU up against TAG once more.
Will the Indian squad wake up here in game number 3? At Kalahari, it's usually the Thai teams that have found dominance thus far.
मारो यार इसको, come on Indian team. Nice. Let's go. मोशी को पकड़ो. Squad wipe कर दो. Come on. Get him, bro. Guys, get him. Let's go. TAG. Squad erase कर दिया. Let's go. Nice. अब मजा आ रहा है finally.
members left.
Oh.
The UAV does ping out Ray. He does have the hook gun in his face, but not much cover to work with, so this should be the third confirmation for the Kings of Kings. But at least, unlike BRU, EVOS, they have a second win in this game.
A little bit of a civil war here between RRQ and EVOS. But the team Apex Gaming, who were literally...
Bro, start में squad erase कर दिया, देख रहे हो guys तुम लोग? Squad erased.
So I don't know if or not it's going to be a huge confidence boost for them, but as long as they can maintain this momentum after winning out that initial gunfight. Loud up against Falcons on the other hand. Nix with the backstab.
SATL 1 elimination, TAG 4.
Absolutely well, and now they're going in for the chase. Corona's going to be stuck all alone here. Ice Queen's not going to find the tag on him just yet, but Trap cutting down.
TAG को ये गेम बड़ा बनाना चाहिए. BRU टेबल टॉपर्स है. टैग काफी पोजीशन अच्छा करेगा अपने.
During the interview with Caro that they are feeling really good after the first booyah. And they have been local champions multiple times, and one of the things that is missing is this EWC trophy and the World Series finale. But at least for now, RRQ also a team that only finishes second.
लाइन है यहाँ पे.
Looking to break that curse here on Paris stage. A bite on
Yeah.
the corner, and Joker down RRQ with their 6th point.
Yeah, easy takedown there. Lion left their player all alone outside just for a little bit of a distraction. And this was that replay. A phenomenal performance from Shoto. And he just shut down the hopes of Buriram in the second game after, once again, a fiery start for your 3-time world champions who have never gotten the first spot here at the Esports World Cup. They get taken out of the lobby prematurely. EVOS on the other hand, Lion after Lion, they'll hunt down. We just saw RRQ find one earlier. Either way, Lion's not doing too well. Yakos can see the shots from the back. Man does not have the ball.
अरे TAG है वहाँ पे, ये अकेला बचा है, इसको फिनिश कर दो लायन को. SATL की फाइट, let's go.
Yago a sliver of health and nameless AGAL from afar, cutting down the distance, slowly catching up with them. And perhaps this third party can allow SHUL to pull in a couple of revives.
Let's see if Bunny can make that rescue mission happen. MT7 could get pushed right now by Twisted Minds. Bob wants to provide long-range support, but he's getting pinned down as well. Twisted Minds with the pieces in place, getting knocked down from afar. Is Bob delivering on the platter? Twisted Minds stopped in the
अरे ये क्या हुआ?
Shoulder, buddy, I'll pick you right up. Diamond brought right back in here by the bass, and Bob's caught out. Diamond, beautiful play off the top, the 10. M24 in hand, but X-Forzy looking for the vending machine.
Bustin.
Will be able to take him away.
अगर स्ट्रॉन्ग स्क्वाड हो तो ऐसे सीधा वेंडिंग मशीन के पास कैम कर लेंगे. अपने आप लोग आते रहेंगे ना अपने स्क्वाड को रेस्ट करने के लिए. मेन स्पॉट्स के वेंडिंग मशीन्स.
We saw BRU get wiped out. It freed up command post, so Team Apex Gaming now have full control of the southern side of the map. Lion not in a good spot as EVOS catches up to RRQ. Again the rematch. The young of RRQ is the one that gets the drop on EVOS.
वो ट्रोल है इधर भाई. ट्रोल.
Corner is going to be a troll that is isolated. Ray finds that finisher.
Yeah, you can't roll the one and only EVOS. 6 eliminations in hand already. Unfortunate for
6 eliminations हो गए EVOS के.
MIBR lots on the other hand, bumping into Falcons yet again. This one just does not end. Empty sexy down on the ground. Round A7 on a high ground.
लैग हो रहा है. चैट लैग हो रहा है क्या मेरा? बताना जरा.
In the crosshairs of Raone, but he does not get the job done. He has to be pushed off here. His on fire catches up with him, and from up top, the SVD straight to the head. Raone was looking for the vending machine, but prevented. And Yago's going to turn tails here, trying to get
नहीं हो रहा ना वही. आपका इंटरनेट स्लो है, ब्लरीज.
although they have the stealth bites, they're not going to be able to get away from this Falcons. They know exactly where he is, and this is going to be the end for MIBR here in this lobby.
Yeah, the retire rhythm just to confirm the elimination. Yago can hide all he wants. There's no escaping the talents of the Falcons. MIBR lost. Remove.
TAG 5 eliminations, SATL 1. Come on. Come back कर लो ये मैच में.
Comfortable spot. Both teams who have had a booyah so far now leading the pack just because BRU is not in it.
जोन पे आ गया. लेट्स गो TAG. जो लोग जोन पे आ रहे हैं उनको मार सकते हैं. उनकी हाइट एडवांटेज भी है. SATL भी जोन में है.
but got exposed in a totally different way. Brilliant play, brilliant strategy out of Falcons. And now, Twisted Minds versus Fluxo. Bob's MT7. And the rest of Twisted Minds use the zip line to cross the battlefield. Diamond has got MT7 in his process. MT7 on the other hand, focusing on the airdrop. They want to make sure they've got the weapons of choice to take on Twisted Minds as well as the utilities. But the Bass with the advantage at 590 only almost messed that up. But MT7, the sniper, just could not take a decent CQC.
Twisted Minds with a daylight robbery and an extra point under their pocket. Fluxo forced to run away. Pot shots headed towards Boss, but just needs to hold the forest. Yeah. Find an isolated Joker, but they need to secure some space at the sub for MT7 to come back to the lobby. Fluxo,
Shark coffee.
very, very spread out.
I'll have to get
On the southern side of the map.
If you look at this map, usually we've seen dominance out of the Thai squad so far. Falcons put it on AGAL. All of them have one booyah each on this Kalahari map. With Buriram out of the equation already, perhaps Falcons and AGAL will be the biggest threats later. Fluxo, on the other hand, they've got a booyah for themselves on this Kalahari map as well in their run here at EWC 26. But as far as those points are concerned, they didn't really rake in a lot of eliminations. In fact, Fluxo hasn't really looked very strong on the battlefield so far as the eliminations.
Hey, thanks for the jewels. Lars live.
I'm looking for them to ramp up maybe game 3 and 4 onwards, right? This is a team that needs some time to warm up their engines. But one of the theme of this game is the fact that two of the biggest strongholds are Refinery and Command Post because of RRQ and BRU. Both of them are not in the lobby, which means that there's a lot of real estate freed up for everyone else. The game should
अरे बनी
until maybe the 11th minute mark.
बनी यार.
The sea stragglers being picked off left and right and then brought back by the vending machine. And that means it's going to be some free points for the teams who managed to find these eliminations.
Buddy tried his best to get to the vending machine, but unfortunately the Valiant Dash used against him. Not really to disable any of his defenses, but just to cut the distance down. And Exposy finding Jack as well. And now SHUL left with one final survivor. Can India find a way to get back into this matchup through this squad? And Team Apex Gaming, on the other hand, started off really hot up against Buriram, but they've been silent so far. AGAL finding the Brazilians. Loud, and a grenade M79 up into the top floor. Trap will be pushed down by the M590, and that starts off a big one, and that's a massive advantage, because that's the player that had the M79 on the side of the Brazilian squad. Cypher traded out, deal with the shot from afar with the M82B, and they dismantle Loud with that play.
Perfect execution from AGAL.
Loud eliminated. Damn. इन्हें को तो बूया मिला था.
Down the stairs and Trap absolutely caught out.
पहले मैच में.
Not sure what the plan was, but Cypher with the great execution on the Valiant Dash sealed the deal there.
I think the play there was.
Sharks, what's the name of this shotgun? As you know, you said you know Free Fire now. ये shotgun का नाम है.
Shot out of this spot with the M590. Beautiful play out of Cypher there.
M590.
Now Twisted Minds up against EVOS. Both these teams know each other very well from the Southeast.
S12K.
And it is EVOS right now leading with the eliminations as well as the utilities. Twisted Minds not too far behind them. When you look at the
M590 है ना?
Probably, I think Exposy trying to get into spot to see if he can flank around. AGAL watching this battle from.
कहाँ देखा सच्ची बता. मैंने कास्टर को ध्यान से सुना. कास्टर ने बोला M590.
Diamond's already tagged out. You have Fluxo on the high ground too, so Twisted Minds not really comfortable staying out in the open at Foundation. They need to find some cover here, but with Evo's pushing in, they gotta pick a poison.
Yeah, you gotta pick a poison, man, either way.
Smart work किया मैंने.
There's a fair chance you do not find the antidote for either one of them. More stealth fights used by Russia. He gets a easy
क्या cheering हो रही है यार audience
find
में
the
तो
circle
crazy.
first before the rest of his brothers. And the rest of the frontliners on the side of EVOS will be holding Twisted Minds back. And Rasya, right after he gets into spot, he gets shot in the back by the player from the side of Fluxo, most probably MT7. EVOS calls for the Bolt Maker. Lightning zone now. Twisted Minds cannot step out into the open. Aim God with one misplay that does not manage to get the first knockdown in the Valiant Dash. Almost saving it, but it was the A124's thrill of battle that gave them the bravery to step into the battle. But Twisted Minds turning the situation around for themselves.
Yeah, and Russia needs to build his team out right now. Finds a nade and a snipe. Rasha going above and beyond and putting Evil on his back.
One more.
Exposing in the bars remainders of Twisted Minds.
One
Rasha again. The
Oh.
one kill with the delivery system. Can he complete the cycle here as the bars desperately bringing his teammates back with the revive? But Rasha
इसने
has
revive
not
भी
won
कर
enough.
दिया,
It's
crazy.
his turn to maybe get his teammates back into the game. The bars over the glue wall. The bars
Whoa, nice one, yeah. The bus.
Gets the insurance policy first on that revive, bringing Diamond back into play, and then
सिटी वाल मार रही है इनको अभी.
But
Nice.
their chances of surviving this lobby and getting a booyah is absolutely
By the way,
slim.
FIFA है S12 के नहीं.
Bass is going to probably get taken out of the equation here. Outside
Evos
the
को
circle,
मारो,
taking a lot of
S12
damage.
boys.
Apex on the other hand,
Apex को मारो.
right beside SHUL, who have had a full squad recovery, looking for the next zone. Can he stay a ninja? Nah, they've spotted
Need
him
कर दो.
already.
अरे
Apex
लो है
is
लो है
getting
लो है
tagged
लो
up.
है लो है. Come on,
This
come on,
is
come on,
the
come on.
end for EVOS here.
Yeah, it's either them or it's either S8UL or
खत्म कर दो.
AJL that takes that away. Just a free point sitting out in the open. If you are the Indian team, you definitely would want that point as you are sitting at the bottom.
Twisted Minds are eliminated.
Off screen too. Apex is just trying to.
अरे यार वो लोग ले लेंगे यार.
Before Duel finally collects that, so we are gonna go down to just 6 more teams.
AGAL as well as Fluxo, the only 2 other teams that have managed to secure a booyah on Kalahari from this EWC stage. Can they take it all the way? Lion has been fairly quiet after a few mishaps at the very start. Haven't secured a single
Lion के लिए क्या चिल्ला रही है
Fluxo, on the
public?
other hand, tanking a lot of damage outside the circle. Spots out SHUL on that rotation. Jack's getting tagged up by Baros. AGAL like shooting fish in a barrel.
Oh
and Fluxo wants to steal that away. FD7 knocks down
no.
Throw. He makes sure he gets the confirmation as
Oh
well.
no.
AGAL getting those shots in, making sure
बनी अकेले
they
है
scare the
यार.
players on the side of Fluxo back. And they're trying to keep Bunny Pinson in.
Yeah, this is a good game
Bunny.
for Fluxo and AJL to pull ahead of the curve because some of the Apex players
more.
are already out.
One more.
Cypher, can he get the snipe in? It's new again, of course. Never doubt this guy. Bunny is also pinned down behind that glue wall, and it's only a matter of
Oh,
time
God.
before AJL finds him. Lion now will join that fight, and maybe that's the distraction that will bail Fluxo out of the situation as they fight against the
TAG.
Yeah, brilliant recovery by Fluxo here, instantly jumping out of that monster truck, getting the pickup with the glue walls, and they take Bunny out of the equation as well. Unfortunately, the circle actually claimed that point off of them. As SHUL Esports makes the exit from the lobby, we now have the top 3 and 2 out of the 3 teams.
Apex भी दोनों इंडियन टीम बाहर.
Definitely geared up for the booyah here. Falcons, just the one team that strayed on in. Can they make it?
हरीश जी का पैसा और खाना दोनों. हरीश जी
They were
कौन
still
है?
alive and kicking. All 3 of these teams have already performed at Kalahari, and they're looking to pull off their second booyah. Which one will be able to secure that for themselves? Cypher bringing the whole squad of AGL together with him, backing him up as he cuts the distance down between their squad as well as
Hi,
Fluxo, but they
Mercy.
realize right under the bridge,
Hi,
Fluxo
Raghav.
will be dangerous. And they take a quick U-turn, but they'll have to deal with Falcons here.
GG,
They're gonna
well
hope
played.
and pray that it is Fluxo that finds Falcons first. Jump pad getting them in, but that's a bad move. First one gets snuffed out of the air. Pina with a double on fire finds Nameless. And AGAL losing too early.
This is good for Fluxo. Carrero made his rotation too late and went down to the blue. Pina did take down Dew, but now Fluxo completely freed out and might get an advantageous fight against Falcons. Pina needs some help, but the blue zone is pushing them straight into the heat of Fluxo, who are coming at them with full force. Dew exposed and limit with the first one to even the odds out. Fluxo forward, pushes in with the dash in. Pina covering himself, and Butcherson now needs assistance. Gets knocked down, finds the trade again. His limit trying to hold Falcons together, but he falls in the hands of MC7. Pina brought back up, pops in front of him, on fire, providing help. Falcons side by side. As Fluxo looks to turn the corner, the pre-fire comes through. Pina rushes in. MC7
भाई, उनका पैसा कैसे खा लिया?
MC7 delivers on fire with the trade. Can Bob steal it? The captain of Fluxo can do it. On fire. It's on fire. And Falcons get their booyah.
Yes, second booyah at Kalahari. The 5th time they make their way here on this map, and they're truly dominant. But a well-played
कुछ
game
करो
for
साक्षी,
all
क्या
three
करूँ
teams
यार
to
मैं?
squeeze themselves towards that final circle.
मैं तो सपोर्ट के लिए वॉच पार्टी कर
Brilliant
सकती हूँ
play
एट द
by
मोस्ट, और
Falcons.
नहीं कर
They got locked down by the
सकती
thrill of battle off of that A1 to
मैं जाके मैं खेलना चालू करूँ, बताओ
and his M590 perfection, well-timed glue
साक्षी
wall,
जी को ही खेलना
circled
चाहिए
around
फैक्ट
it, could not use his active skill, but it didn't matter. He went in for the pop, an instant pickup to maintain the numbers advantage.
इग्नोर करो
And the
नहीं तो अभी
distraction with the
कल
extra
जैसे
player
आया
on
मेरा
the side
साक्षी
of
बात
Falcons, more than enough to allow On Fire to pop off towards the very end. A brilliantly executed final circle for Falcons.
Oh, nice.
This is something that Falcons is very
It is
good at.
crazy.
Put them at a disadvantage.
हरीश
They
जी
will
मैंगलोर से
somehow
क्या
even the
बात
odds out
कर रहे हो
and then tip the
सच्ची?
scales in their
मैंने
favor.
सुना तो है वो बूट कैंप में बहुत अच्छा खाना बनाते हैं, टेस्टी खाना बनाते हैं, ये तो मैंने बोला। ये तो मैंने प्लेयर्स को भी पूछा क्योंकि एस पावर दोनों बूट कैंप रह चुका है और खा चुका है। एस पावर ने भी बोला दैट फूड इज लाइक, मुझे हरीश जी का फूड एक बार ट्राई करना है। हरीश जी को बोला कभी मेरे लिए खाना बना के मुझे खिलाएं। क्या आपने ये गेम खेला है? नहीं। चिकन आ रहा है गणपति, इसमें बूया होता है, बूया। When are you going to Paris during World matches? Most probably. डेट्स तो अभी क्रॉन्टे नंबर को ही पता है, मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे नहीं पता।
From the top 6 and the bottom 6 because it's starting to look like it's a top heavy game.
A great recovery for Team Apex Gaming as well. India had a phenomenal run yesterday. First two matches, not really on their side. This is the game they wake up on. But SHUL still lagging behind a tad bit, but at the very least, not at the very bottom of this leaderboard for Kalahari. But on the overall leaderboard, I'm fairly sure they're still at the bottom. They need to do a lot, and they have to hope.
bootcamp से लेना है मुझे.
Because you very well know that it could just happen. Now, Team Falcons, after that game, I'm very sure they're somewhere around the 50-point region, and if they give us exactly what they gave at the grand finals, the very first match was a 40-point bomber, they might just activate the champion rush condition or the match point in this very next game.
You're right, AJ. I mean, they still hold the world record for most points in a single game.
Amen,
if they deliver that, it is going to be, you know, another one of those examples where Falcons prove that they are the superior team. And can you imagine being a two-time champion at EWC? They already have the 2 stars as the club champion, so why not make that run it back?
Yeah, absolutely, man. 2 teams out here on that stage capable of becoming the 2-time world champions for Free Fire at the Esports World Cup. You've got EVOS, you've got Falcons, but are they going to be upset by the squads out there today? Because if you look at the overall leaderboard, based on the performance that we saw off of Kalahari earlier, it's currently going to be stacked with the Thai teams at the top.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I was worried about coming into this grand finals, even after yesterday, was if these Thai teams are going to go aggressive, and so far they have been. So let's see if they can keep that Thai freight train going. We'll be right back with more action.
आज क्राउड फुल है यार, देखो उनके फुल पब्लिक है आज। EWC के ही स्टोरीज चेक कर रही थी मैं। So many people today, bro. देखो बहुत पब्लिक है आज।
It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
What a game, and welcome back to our stage here. I'm Yoso, and right next to me is Lucifer. Wow, okay, so before we start everything, I must talk about India teams. Alright, so I think that stepping into the finals, they are a little bit struggling, but look at TAG at the first beginning of the game 3. clear all Buddha United Esports? What are you going to say about that, Lucifer?
They needed that initial start to get an idea about the stage itself, because grand finals, come on, it's not that easy. But they have done it. They took down Buriram and almost fully taking down EVOS as well. So brilliant stuff coming in from their end, but also have to add on to Loud's consistency coming through. This time AGL might have troubled them, but you can see Loud for Brazil, they're also moving in the direction. And I really like how these teams, on one end India, on the other end Brazil, everybody's trying to take this trophy away from Southeast Asia.
Exactly. Okay, so we have Brazil teams here, Loud and Fluxo. They are doing pretty great, right? But what is wrong with Lost? I just keep questioning myself during the 3 games past. Like, what is really wrong with them? Like, I don't really know what is happening to Lost. Like, have you got any idea?
I think right as now it's Loud as well as Fluxo. They're the ones who are picking up, and MIB are lost. Unfortunate, they're coming in the mix of that battle and they're unable to pull it off. Hopefully they do something different that works in their favor, but one team that did in their favor to get back what they did in EWC 24 is Falcons, that they want to be a 2-time EWC champion.
Wait, but what about EVOS? Because they are getting a little slower than during the 3 games away. But I'm really impressed with the final play. We have our last circle, AJAL, Fluxo, and also Team Falcons. And Falcon Pina is definitely on fire. He's played really nice, even in the last circle. Control the game's really nice. We cannot talk about on fire, but he's getting fire his back, and I'm really proud of my little boy here.
Falcons indeed are getting their fire back in, because they know that they need this trophy once again. They need to become the 2-time. It's not seen yet here, and if they do it at Esports World Cup 2026 Paris, they will be elated. They will have their key right here. That's the reason we're standing right next to the game trophy, along with 3 keys that they could maybe crush and take it home. But again, the reason I say maybe is this is Falcons getting their very first
thank
tournament, so there's a lot that they have to do yet.
Welcome, bro.
Yes, and I'm looking forward more to see our teams, because this is unlimited games, right? Reach more to 90 points. Okay, so let's back to our studio, shall we?
Thank you very much, Lucifer and Yun So. We are about to hop into game number 4, and it is Bermuda time, back to the origins of Free Fire. And you're right, so far some of these front runners from Thailand and Brazil have been hitting it hard. MIB are lost, nowhere to be found, but hopefully they are going to start showing up, because we don't want to end by game 5 or 6 AJ. We want to double that. We want to go game 12 to make use of the unlimited games available in this grand finals. So let's see if some of the bottom dwellers
let's go.
Surprise on Bermuda.
Match number 4.
I've got my eyes on 2 teams, Loud from Brazil and Team Apex Gaming from India. Like I said, man, they needed the big mustache on the desk so that India could get a little bit more excited. Let's see if or not they take this one all the way. They haven't had a Booyah on Bermuda just yet, but I'm hoping this is the first one for TAG Fluxo. In a little bit of a danger zone here. I'm talking about TAG. And they're making me a tad bit nervous.
Yeah, TAG और Fluxo कब से clash कर रहे हैं?
It might just happen. TAG, you better win this one out.
This is quite the shift, because usually Fluxo prefers to go straight for Mars Electric.
I know, right?
So this either intentional by Fluxo or TAG have something that we don't know. Thankfully, they're not directly on top of each other, so there's some real estate they can both share in the
Oh my god, man!
TAG, they've already lost Woven, Shoto and Sahil.
ये Fluxo भी क्या?
Healthy, Shoto in front, but MC7 coming out on top. And Fluxo again off to a good start.
A very callous push there in that situation. Shoto's down, Buchizin as well as Jiu, shot from afar. Didn't really get to see exactly who was that taking the shots up against them, but it doesn't matter. He was on the way out of this sticky situation.
क्यों यार क्यों?
And like a cowboy, he's riding away. No sunset.
Please eat only healthy food. This is healthy. What I'm
eating. In this context, luckily there's no sunset.
Nuh-uh.
There will be an early exit for TAG.
Hey, don't say that. I was waiting for them to come back.
Same, man. I was hoping the same as well, right? And again, that's the concern that I did brought up, because I was expecting that, you know, the Thai teams, the experienced one, especially those that qualified directly. Play yesterday. They're gonna come in hot, looking for eliminations to get that big lead, and that's exactly what happened in game 1. You know,
bad for the Goda.
Twisted Minds did in the game 2. Loud got a booyah. So for the teams from India, this is probably the biggest pressure that they've ever faced, and under all these aggressions from the teams and how fast the lobby has been going, it is going to take a while for them to get used to it, and it better come fast.
Yeah, looking at what Fluxo did here, they're definitely going in for the hunt onto Team Apex Gaming.
KD God! Oh my God!
It's not going to give them an extra advantage because the revival was already completed. The
अच्छा
squad is
revival
on the
complete
way
हो गया
back
फिर ठीक
in.
है.
So very intentional play executed to perfection there by the Brazilian Giants.
Thanks to the
Luxo getting 4
jewels,
points off of
James
TAG
Bond.
at the very get-go. Buriram on the other hand, just 1 point claim so far. They send the UAV out and they find more.
Well, TAG got lucky for just a little bit because they actually went to peak, and that's why Buriram usually spends a bit more time hanging around. But because Buriram moved to Bimasakti Strip, TAG actually gets a second chance in this lobby.
Oh yeah.
Not so lucky, not so sure about Lost though, because they're about to run into BRU. Lion beelining towards where the boss is, and there could be some info the Twisted Minds can use, but I don't think they want to fight right now. They want to get those revives.
Lion versus one player from the side of Twisted Minds. Bass is going to get caught in a tight little spot here. Joker with the M24, flanking around the right-hand side. Della pushing on forth. Spots out Bass. Joker gets the first shot in. Bass pulls up a good blue wall. He's going to be able to block the shots from Della. Grenade's not going to find him just yet. Bass has got the Trogon in hand, but Joker will RGS him out of the equation. And Troll from up top. SHUL trying to interfere in the situation, but the time turner is going to allow the Lions to pick
Come on, SHUL.
and find that recovery as well. An extra glue wall inside the time turner just in case they break it down. But just no aggression from the side of SHUL just yet with those shots. Limit is going to get tagged up here as well. And it is a battle that I did not expect to see the Thai Giants join. And this is now turning into a three-way fight.
Oh my God,
SHUL
Gru
might
और
be able to get
Falcon भी
away
आ
as
गया.
Lions now start shooting down the Falcons.
Yeah, SSUL is the team that has info on both Falcons and Lion, and that's why they instantly backed off and leave Lion to be the Falcon problem instead of themselves. Limit just got picked back up, so Falcons didn't really have much time to pick themselves.
अच्छा हुआ Lions आ गई.
But they still were
SHUL थोड़ा back चले गए.
Finding Games King, that is the back broken on the Lion side. They no longer have the anchor, and Lion will be forced to split up.
Brilliant play, brilliant counter by Falcons. Although they were in a tight little spot there, using the jump pad to see if they can pull away some numbers from that equation, intentionally or unintentionally help the Indian squad of SHUL survive. And the Lions didn't go in for the pressure since Falcons got a couple of numbers off of them as well. Now the Bears still under pressure. This time it's Evos that finds him. And that's about it. What a turnaround. M1917 gets the knock. Can he get the confirmation? No, he gets a double! Can he get a triple? Locked out by the thrill of battle. The flank comes through from the back. Good glue wall. And he gets the elimination. The best, you monster.
Absolutely insane play there. Hunted down by the entirety of Evos and comes out with a 2-0 head-to-head so far. And the entire game,
one more?
He has been alone. He has been isolated. And finally, Ray takes him out. But it did come at a cost for Evos. They are forced to soft reset.
Good anticipation.
Yes, brother.
for Ray
TAG
there
is Jonathan
of
and
the
Three-man
TSK.
Bounce team,
Salja
yes.
in the vehicle. A disadvantage up against Strap, who has the Woodpecker. Katie got, and now they're all spread out on the battlefield. Twisted Minds right above on the revive. Don't tell me he's going to drop right in here. That might be the distraction that Team Apex Gaming is going to need. SHUL, on the other hand, up against Falcons. In this compound, Falcons have got the high ground advantage. Limit, Riptide Rhythm sent out already, so he's on cooldown for the active skill. Jack's going to be spotted out from afar. Pina quickly repositions towards the lower ground. They pulled out the paint and refuge off of that Steffi earlier on, but no nades were sent from the side of Falcons. That could be the active wasted. It's a 2v2. Time turner used a little
Money,
prematurely.
come on,
Nina
noob.
gets caught out though. It's a big play, and Buddy with the throw goes in for the doozy.
Oh, nice one, Troll.
SHUL esports still alive.
Perfect stuff
Nice
from
one.
Troll with the car
क्या
98
बात है
and the
SHUL.
cluster to set it up as well, completely scattering the front line of Falcons right into the crosshair of Troll. And TAG on the other hand,
TAG,
you
you
wanted the
better-
Indian team to step up, AJ. I
better
think
kill
they are
Quiz now.
granting your wish as they were chasing down
Twitch
isolated
hashtag में
members
चल
as
रही है.
well.
Quiz को
And this could
खत्म
put
कर
them in
दो
a good
यार.
spot and give them more games in this finals. With Falcons removed, now it is Twisted Minds and Fluxo's chance to get ahead.
Bharat Mata ki Jai. That's the way, baby. But of course, it's not enough. They're still towards the bottom of the leaderboard. If they can climb up consistently, maybe get into the final circle, they stand a good chance. Man, the Bass is just having an unlucky run here in this Bermuda lobby. Tagged up again, can he pull off a superstar play? This time it's Katie God with the M1970, the double revolvers up against the Bass, who does have the SMG in hand. The Bison, deadly. Katie God needs a sharp shot here. The Bass quickly finding the recovery off of the Superman and the backup from afar. Unfortunate. Exposi brought right back in here. Twisted Minds continuously on the revives now. Shoto needs to turn tails and get the heck out of there, because you've got two players on the side of Twisted Minds with a high ground advantage, and Diamond has the VSK. That's it. He tries to get away. Diamond, are you going to miss all of those shots? Shoto.
One more.
Some luck is keeping him alive. But finally taken down. Took too long for Diamond, but finally sorted that out.
Longer than they needed. Exposi, he is running all the way from peak to join his teammates. Vovin is still up, but this vending machine is so far away. And Mill, I think that's where he's heading. We saw the Dinoculus being used earlier on. But it also could be from AJL to make sure that there's no team coming in from the eastern side.
Yeah.
SAUL have been duking it off with BRU for quite some time. Let's see if Bunny can come out on top. The blue wall all go down at the same time. Is Bunny against the captain, Jonah Besson.
Man, I mean, Jonah's a monster always, but in that situation, he was definitely outnumbered. The rest of the players from the side of Buriram is having the crosshairs on him from afar. Moshi spotting out Jack as well, but Jack, with the Valiant Dash, will be able to put a little bit of a distance between himself as well as the super sniper of Buriram. But the rest of the SHUL players are not out of the woods just yet. Spotted out by Buriram. Jonah as well as Get High XL out in the open. Troll has got the Car 98 and the VSK.
Oh no.
The quick scopes will get him absolutely nothing. Perfect defense off of Buriram. On the opposite end, we've got Loud bumping into Evos.
Yeah, he doesn't see Jonah with a stealth
Lion,
so that could be dangerous. Evos here. Is it another three-way fight? If it is,
could even be a four-way, Husky.
RRQ joins it. You call it.
There you go.
With the snipe onto BZP. Apex is going to try and capitalize on this, but he's going to be pinned down in this warehouse as well. If Lion pushes this, it is going to be bad news for Evos.
Yeah, good recovery for Loud here. Just quickly going on to the troll, making sure RRQ does not get those easy shots.
Free Fire मिलने का plan है क्या? Yes, maybe in future sometime we shall
They
do.
call out the painted refuge from Steffi, protecting them from any nades that will be tossed up onto the roof. So that's a brilliant defense here by Loud. That ice grenade's not going to do anything to them. Dragon Freeze will not scratch them at all. But the painted refuge used up already. They all get tagged up by the Moko. Evos knows exactly where they are. All thanks to the lightning zone as well. And Loud has got nowhere to go.
They're actually trapped on this roof. But the good news is that it is right in the center of the circle, so they still have some time to plan their escape route if needed, or at least just hold here and wait for the other teams to take themselves out.
One more.
Apex under pressure, trap, clear vision of him. BRU crippled, unfortunately, as they actually lost the fight against SAUL off screen. So Moshi will have to backtrack from where he came from.
Moshi अकेला बचा है, इसको मार दो, मार दो, मार
On the other hand, rough round here. Moshi.
AGL chase कर रहे, come on, finish him, finish him,
Good to
finish
see the
him.
end here, Nameless. I don't know if he knows.
Saifa should check
तो
this.
इनको नहीं पता, इनको नहीं पता, पता है, पता है. Finish him, finish him. BRU.
Taken out, their banner burned out of the skies. Fantastic.
Very sorry,
start.
AGL
Just
और
no
Falcons
great
को भी
follow-up from
जाना
your
चाहिए.
three-time world champs.
Come on,
Zero plays the
TAG.
points again, AJ.
यार ये लोग
Another
hashtag
early
2
exit.
खेल रहे,
Twisted
अच्छा खेल रहे
Mind
थे साथ.
challenging AJ Exposi. I mean, so far the pass has been hard. He's continued to be hard.
Oh, nice.
Into the field. They lose two, but same as TAG, can Wolven pull this back? They've already
Wolven
lost
और
the
एक आ रहा है,
star
और एक आ रहा है
So
ऊपर
it all
से.
comes down to Wolven as the huge to make some magic happen. Gonna try to go into the other side of the building, of the window.
Oh my
Wolven
God,
needs
oh my
some
God.
distance to reconvene with his teammates.
Oh man, the guy had no glue walls. He almost got shot in the back. But thanks to his lucky stars, I'm very sure they're aligned for the team perfectly right now.
Looks so.
But luck is about to run out for TAG. They do not have the resources needed to survive this final circle, and they don't have the number of players on their side as well. Will luck be on their side? A Riptide Rhythm from another squad, giving the opener here. SAUL losing lives one after the other as well on the opposite end. And the four-way fight still has Loud alive and kicking up on top.
They are holding on so well. So much medkits and glue wall to work with. They've weathered the storm for now, so RQ is going to be their next problem, but at least they have the warehouse to drop into if needed.
Wow.
Fluxstone did bail TAG out from the jaws of Twisted Minds for a while, but now TAG will have to somehow get out of this with minimal resource.
SHUL, although they survived long enough into the 12-minute mark, placement points wise, they don't really get anything much off of this lobby at all. Team Apex Gaming with 2 final survivors, a double caught on the outside. Twisted Minds hopping on in. And they find a quick recovery before perhaps taking the fight up against Team Apex Gaming. They just need to knock on that door slightly and they'll be able to get 2 free points, unless, of course, Wolvin and Sileljudge show us some miracle, because they have no glue walls to play around with. They'll just have to take a straightforward gunfight.
Yeah, Lion just wiped out.
इस और फाल्कन्स का फाइट हो जाएगा तो मजा आ जाएगा ये जी उससे बच सकते हैं
Too good for Lion to
oh
no he just could get absolutely ran through by the bars. They should spell the end of TAG and get out into the blue. Wowen actually finds that revive on the KD God to extend their lifeline, and he's on the MT7. Wowen though loses the fight, but MT7 did eventually perish to the blue.
Yeah, Wowen did manage to collect that elimination off of him. Brilliant play, but of course Team Apex Gaming, that's going to be their consolation prize. They survived definitely much longer, but elimination points wise, that's exactly where we see the big improvement coming through from the squad. But they need way more than that to climb a leaderboard in a massive lobby like this. Not their fault at all. On the survival stage, you didn't have these big boys, you didn't have these monsters prowling around. It's a tough lobby to say the least. Lions now rotating away from Twisted Minds. Fluxo versus RRQ, the big fight. Dude still alive and kicking, but lost. Doing a number on them, spotting out Rans. Circling around the glue wall, will get clapped by the thrill of battle, and the A124 does RRQ in. The sniper of RRQ can't do much in this situation, tries to run away, prevented by Rigby. Easy points for MIBR, and that's the 4 that they pick up in this lobby.
Good stuff. MIBR lost needed an intervention. They needed a way back into this finals, and I think they found that opening. Now it's about converting that into more. Lau still holding on strong. The next circle. Let's see if it decides whether Lau gets to stay. Nope, out into the open we go. AJL, they are primary position to vulture all of these points from the far. And if AJL gets this booyah, they are going to be so close to 90 points.
How long has Loud stayed on this roof? They have played their defense perfectly. Nobody has been able to punish them. Nobody has been able to kick them off. Now the blue zone will finally do the job, removing the Brazilian squad off of that roof. But the question is, how will they make their move into the next circle? Now Lightning Zone has been called out. It is not AGAL's bolt maker. Potentially from MIBR, as they are looking to make their way a long journey towards the next zone. Blue wall melters laid out here by AGAL. General's going to be in a lot of trouble, but the shots, the cover from Yago allows him to make the quick rotation round, and MIBR still safe.
The only way to really make this competitive is for Lost to get that booyah somehow. Allow wiping out Twisted Minds members. BZP hanging on by a thread. Now top back up. That's the quad and the 5th for BZP. Nyx comes in as well. But Lion shows up and Della leads the charge. Games King also winning out his one against Guaksha. Lion not to be denied.
Yeah, Lion steps on in right after that double nade from the side of Twisted Minds. Beautiful play. And of course, it is Lions that get the biggest slice of this pie through those points. Diamond still clapped by the thrill of battle. He can't use his active skills just yet. Goes in for the Superman right outside the zone. Tanking a lot of damage. Traps down on the ground. BZP needs to go in here for the pickup, and Games King can't find
BZP भाई ये बंदा कितना अच्छा
है. A sliver of health left here for BZP. And Diamond gets the final player, and it is an all-out Thailand final circle that's clapped by AJL for the booyah.
And they have now officially hit that critical mass. They are so close to 90 points. This booyah, I believe, paired with 11 eliminations, puts them one good game away from the 90-point threshold. How sweet would that be? They came up a global finals class squad victory. It's not Battle Royale, it's not the Holy Grail. But now the Holy Grail right in front of them is just one step away.
Before this match, they were 33 points away. I wonder if or not they've managed to pull off a phenomenal run. I mean, if you look at it from the grand scheme of things, these 3 Thai squads, Team Falcons, Twisted Minds, AGAL, they really go all out in the first game like what Buriram did. But right after that, you see the consistency out of these boys.
अच्छा weather लग रहा है यार, nice breeze also.
Earlier and AGL just picking one up for themselves as well. So if you look at it from the grand scheme of things, Southeast Asia doing phenomenally well out there.
This has to feel like deja vu for BRU. This was exactly what happened back in Riyadh in 2025. Get a hot start on Bermuda in game 1 and then absolute silence.
Yeah.
And it has happened 2 rounds in
Hi,
a row.
Harshvardhan.
You gotta feel what the players are thinking. I think Wasana is starting to feel the stress as well.
बारिश आ गई.
Hands on his head in game 3 and really just slumping back on the chair after game 4 ended. But there's one team that deserves Twisted Minds. They missed out last year.
Yeah.
Jump was with poor memory. They didn't even make 80 points. They finished last in Riyadh. He joins Twisted Minds and now they are here and they're ever so close.
Absolutely. But are they close enough to the consistency of AGAL? They have been dominating Clash Squad and they have also been ripping away massive points in whichever Battle Royale lobby they hop on into. Any tournament that they've visited so far, they've definitely found the top 3 for themselves, and now they're looking to become the champions here for Free Fire at the Esports World Cup 2026 Paris. And they're not too far away from doing exactly that. 90 points, that's our match point target. And right now they may just be, like you said, 1 game away.
Yeah, 1 game away from 90. And if everything goes according to plan for AJL, Game 6 is where they lift that trophy. It would be a fast finals. I mean, not that we've not seen it. We saw it back in spring when Team Secret walked away with 4 consecutive booyahs, but AGAL has such a good run so far. But again, we did highlight Twisted Minds earlier on, and now we have them on stage. Let's hear what they have to say.
Welcome back to the main stage. My name is Barney Banks and I've got Exposy here from Twisted Minds, playing absolutely out of their skin at this point. Exposy, I want to just quickly ask you, if we look back to groups, you guys would play relatively slowly and you would gain momentum throughout the day, and then obviously you'd end on a high, obviously winning your group. However, today you've come out really aggressive. Was that always the plan?
ก็คำถามแรกนะฮะถ้าเกิดมองย้อนไปตอนกรุ๊ปสเตจเนี่ยฮะตอนนั้นเราเล่นกันแบบว่าค่อยๆไปเรื่อยๆแบบว่าไต่ขึ้นไปเรื่อยๆแบบเงียบๆจนสุดท้ายแล้วเนี่ยเราจบที่1ของกรุ๊ปสเตจเลยนะฮะแต่ว่าพอมารอบแกรนด์ไฟนอลเนี่ยฮะพวกเราฟอร์มของพวกเราออกไปทางร้อนแรงแล้วก็ aggressive ค่อนข้างมากเลยเป็นยังไงบ้างฮะตอนนี้
ก็ดีครับทีมได้ปั่นจักรยานไปหอเฟลครับก็เลยเล่นดีครับ
Yeah, actually like the reason behind like our aggressive style is like because we got a chance to like ride a bicycle to the Eiffel Tower, so we have a lot of energy to play today.
Because you rode a bicycle to the Eiffel Tower. That's pretty cool. Let's talk about the current situation that you're in right now on the leaderboard, okay? You're from one of the strongest regions coming into this, alongside the likes of Falcons, AGAL, yourselves as well, and of course, Buriram United Esports. How does it feel right now to be sitting, you know, towards the top of the leaderboard, almost leading the charge?
ก็ถ้าเกิดมองไปที่ลีดเดอร์บอร์ดตอนนี้นะฮะเทียบกับสกอร์ของทีมที่มาจากรีเจียนเรานะฮะไม่ว่าจะเป็นว่าฟอลคอนนะฮะบุรีรัมย์หรือไม่ก็ทีมอื่นสวิสเตอร์มายหรือว่าอื่นๆก็ตามนะฮะคะแนนของเราตอนนี้เนี่ยค่อนข้างโดดออกไปทีเดียวแล้วก็ตอนค่อนข้างสูงแล้วก็เกือบถึง90แล้วนะฮะรู้สึกไงบ้างครับ
ก็รู้สึกดีแล้วครับทีมเล่นดีก็ฝากคนไทยเชียร์เยอะนะครับ
Yeah, I'm very happy and very satisfied for the result of our performance, and hopefully like all the Thai fans and everyone around the world
together खेलो किसके साथ खेलो?
Well, finally, before I let you go, I just want to ask you what it would mean to you and your teammates, and of course your community watching to lift
आपका फेवरेट गन कॉम्बिनेशन ये को मैं तो बहुत क्रेजी ओम चलाती हूँ मैं ओम बहुत अच्छा चलाती हूँ मैं कार 98 बहुत अच्छा चलाती हूँ M249 ठीक है M249 तो ठीक है स्पैमिंग है फिर AKM लॉन्ग शॉट बहुत अच्छा चलाती हूँ मैं दूर से भी मेरा वो नहीं होता स्प्रे एकदम स्मूथ है मेरा AKM 6X में भी मेरा स्प्रे एकदम स्मूथ है वालों की स्ट्रीम कर एसएडीओ वर्सेस गॉडलाइक वो कल AKM 6X0 रिक्वायर्ड में क्या चल रहा है?
मुझे लगता है कि मुझे और आपको भी साइकिल चला लेनी चाहिए थोड़ी सी।
बिल्कुल, देखिए फिजिकल एक्टिविटी तो बहुत ज़रूरी है। इवन इन एथलीट्स की बात करें तो काफ़ी ज़्यादा अपनी हेल्थ का भी ख्याल रखते हैं, हेल्थ कॉन्शियस रहते हैं और तभी तो इतनी तेज़ी से ये उंगलियां भी चला लेते हैं, गेम भी खेल लेते हैं, रिफ्लेक्सेस भी दिखा लेते हैं। सो फॉर श्योर उनके रिफ्लेक्सेस मैच करने के लिए तो बहुत कुछ करना पड़ेगा। साइकिल तो बहुत छोटी चीज़ है, बट चलिए अभी हम लोग चलते हैं आगे और देखते हैं ओवरऑल रैंकिंग क्या कहती है, बिकॉज इस गेम के बाद बहुत कुछ बदल गया है। चलिए जंप करते हैं यहाँ पे ओवरऑल रैंकिंग की तरफ। सबसे ऊपर जो टीम इस वक्त आ चुकी है वो
लास्ट 2 है इंडियन टीम्स फिलहाल तो।
70 टोटल पॉइंट, 44 एलिमिनेशन इन्होंने निकाले। ट्विस्टेड माइंड्स जिनका अभी हमने देखा इंटरव्यू और ये भी एक बुया निकाल चुके हैं। 69 पॉइंट्स इनके पास भी है। दैट मींस कि 2 टीम ऐसी है जो तकरीबन 70 रन निकाल चुकी है।
आज नहीं गई यार मैं।
मुकाबले में अगले मुकाबले में चैंपियन कंडीशन एक्टिवेट करने के लिए बहुत ही ज्यादा अंक हासिल नहीं करने हैं इनको, तकरीबन बस यहाँ पे 20 अंक दूर। वहीं पे लाउड की बात करें 63 पॉइंट्स इनके पास, टीम फैल्कन्स 55, फ्लुक्सो 54 और लायन वो भी 53 पॉइंट्स के साथ नजर आ रही है। बुरीराम यूनाइटेड ई स्पोर्ट्स के यहाँ पे वसाना को हम लोगों ने सीरियस बहुत कम देखा है, बट उसके पीछे का रीजन ये है कि जो उनके लिए ये ट्रॉफी है ना ये बहुत ज़्यादा मायने रखती है। बुरीराम यूनाइटेड ई स्पोर्ट्स ये ई स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड कप 2026 की ट्रॉफी हर हाल में जीतना चाहती है एंड उसके लिए अब हमको वो सीरियस रूप देखने को मिलने वाला है वसाना का एंड इवन पूरी टीम का। वो टीम RRQ, लॉस, टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग और SATUL ई स्पोर्ट्स। ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके पास मौके नहीं है, बट वो ट्रॉफी धीरे धीरे आंखों से दूर जाती चली जा रही है और उसको अगर आपको अचीव करना है तो बस अब आपको यहाँ पे जागना पड़ेगा और बड़े गेम निकालने ही पड़ेंगे, वरना फिर बाद में मौका नहीं मिलेगा। बिकॉज जिस तरीके से ये टीम्स खेल रही हैं, चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट करने के बाद ज़्यादा गेम देंगी नहीं है।
अब सारी टीम्स को जागना पड़ेगा और उठ के बहुत तेज़ भागना पड़ेगा, वरना ऑल गेमर्स ग्लोबल काफ़ी ज़्यादा नज़दीक आ चुके हैं। देखिए अपने पॉइंट रश के। सो यहाँ पे चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट करने के, तो चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट होते साथ ही तो देखो गेम बदल ही जाएगा। बट आई फील इस मुकाबले में तो शायद हमें वो चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट होता हुआ नज़र नहीं आए। जैसा मैंने कहा था 5th गेम के बाद हमें 6th गेम तक भी शायद हमें चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट होता हुआ नज़र आए। सो होप फॉर द बेस्ट।
अरे 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 क्या हुआ था अभी?
For those up close and personal interactions with some of your favorite players. You have to come here. You can get some photos with your favorite players. You can get them to autograph some of your EWC 26 merch. Are you having a good time here so far?
Yeah, really nice. And I'm so excited to be here. We are supporting Lion and Gandai.
Seeing glitter spinning that wheel reminds me of what's going on
नहीं
right
मिस
now
नहीं
with
किया
that
मैंने,
leaderboard.
दिखा दिया,
Last time
चला
that you
दिया
saw us,
मैंने।
That leaderboard has been spinning because at one point it was Buriram. That's not the case anymore. This is starting to look like 2025 Buriram.
2025 indeed. They came out of the gates running last year and it looks like, you know, they were going to be the leaders of the pack, but then unfortunately something happened to them and they ended up in 9th place. And we're kind of seeing the same happen today. So is it a, you know, a little bit of a jinx or a turn of events? Who knows? But look, obviously we talk about these teams and everybody's sort of wanting that prize, wanting that, and they definitely have what it takes to get back up to the top of the leaderboard, but right now we're just having deja vu.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, it's real difficult right now because they're the ones left out of the Thailand teams who's grabbing those booyahs. Like 3 out of 4 that is in grand finals right now is already taking that big B, and Brim United is not getting it, but they did have a massive game number 1.
But then again, if we're talking about the Thailand team, we also have AGAL. I mean, that booyah and those consistency. Game 1, 2, 4, they keep getting 11 elimination points, and I think that is the goal today. They're going to go aggressive, and they are surely locking up the points with that extra booyah they just had on Game 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually end up seeing them in that first place whenever we end up seeing the overall. But for everybody currently watching at home, even if your team is not performing that well, it's okay. Just log in into Free Fire and make sure you get some of the sweet in-game rewards because there's a bunch. I mean, you can kind of see them on the screen right now. Honestly, I want that EWC back right there. Just support your local team, claim your rewards, and I mean, I can hear it from the back too. Everybody wants a back. Can we actually get one? Because I would want to have one. Yeah, in the
when we do
what is the jersey? The jersey was a question mark too. A question mark is currently what the Indian teams are having above their head because it's not looking like what we saw yesterday from Survival.
Yes, I am so sad actually because I am here to represent Lucifer, who is now at the casting desk. But again, I mean, they do have some opportunities because we all saw what happened on
है कि नहीं PBX 25 सही कह रही है ना
They came out with a vengeance from being eliminated early on the previous game to taking out the biggest threat. And of course, we also saw how S8UL eliminated Falcon right on the previous game. So they do have what it takes. It's just that somehow the consistency when it comes to getting those points, now that is questionable. It's the rotation that I think they might have to reconsider again.
We talked about yesterday about the mentality of some of these squads. Maybe this is what the Indian teams need, Neptune. Taking those big fights against the top dogs little by little. And the thing right now, with the way that the leaderboard is set, whenever we get a chance to end up seeing it, you'll see how compact everything is as well.
Oh, one thing that hopefully doesn't happen for them, despite of them taking down big dogs, is that ego. The ego wherein, yes, they're confident already to take down one, but falter the next match. And that is what happened for Team Apex Gaming. Because yes, they did get one team earlier on a match 3, but in match 4, it's Fluxo who did take them down.
Yes, I mean, Tag were amazing. They were a beast on the survival stage. I still remember correctly on game 3 where Shoto had 4 elimination on his own and 1,966 damage points with 7 asses. But looking at the overall ranking finals, this is interesting, 7.
It is interesting. Team Falcons, a team that's currently challenging as well for the club championship, does have a booyah. Just keep that in mind, because right now the top 4 teams, all of them do have a booyah. Whenever we reach that 90-point threshold, the way that you'll have to be able to win it is going to be with a booyah.
I must say that this is going rather quick, Lace. I mean, we have 70 points already from AGAL.
Yeah, and look, we're talking about booyahs, and who doesn't have one yet? Fluxo, okay? Look, the rise to the top 4 in match 3 is exactly what we expect from this team. I mean, the aggressive fights, the adaptability. There was a part where they had Falcons on height of bridge and then AGL on the south of them. But however they did that, they maintained composure and defense in that situation. Did they get the booyah? Obviously not. It's not on there. But it was an impressive game from them to be able to move from their position that they were in to get that second place in the third match. And match 4, you know, they did prioritize early eliminations, which did sort of put them into that 4th place position with only Falcons like having 1 more point than them. So this is what we expect from Fluxo, but it is the consistency that we don't tend to see from them. It's just they get the big games in, and that's how they're maintaining their points.
That is so brave of you to say, because we're standing right behind the supporters right now. But one thing that I can also say is that at least they're doing better than my Indonesian teams, okay? Because as we all see, EVOS and Arkaryuk are having quite a hard time. They only have 41 and 36 points overall now without any booyah. So I'm just hoping and praying, because like I said before, they are booked and busy on the previous matches. They somehow had the worst positioning of all time. This is just not their day.
Yeah, I do agree, especially in that moment where Mag could have survived, like trying his best, but unfortunately,
ये
like, he was
पीछे वो
just
डांस
caught
कर रहा है
off guard.
बोल
That has been the same situation even in the regionals in Southeast Asia. So I thought he did manage to pull out of that, because there were some instances where even in a shotgun, he can battle it out. He can do it out.
The rain is crazy.
That is a different mode. Clash Squad in Battle Royale.
Sad time to be single.
Usual ways, and it's not working.
And Neptune, talking about the next map coming up, Nextera. I mean, we usually end up looking at some skills. We end up seeing some crazy stuff. What are you specifically going to be looking at for Nextera?
Oh, this is where the teams will be farming all those eliminations, because despite of this is similar to the size of say Purgatory or Bermuda, we are seeing a lot of compounds in here. Most of the compounds is a hiding spot for those who's trying to survive, as well as the vending machine available. So this is where, in most cases in tournament, we get to see a lot of revives and then a lot of elimination as well.
Stay hydrated. हो गया मेरा पेट भरा है अभी पेट ओपनिंग कब कर रहे हैं नहीं कार आई है ना पीछे में
teams, because they do have what it takes. We all seen that happening on the survival stage, but somehow right now they just have to shake off those final jitters, I think, because
it even looked good for S8UL for that one moment, but then what happened?
I don't know. That's exactly
Tell me, girl, what
we should be asking to the players because they look chill as hell right now. And we need to get them refocused because Nextera, again, this is not going to be an easy map for anyone.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be an easy map for anyone, especially for those bottom teams. But at this point, the one thing that they do have going for them is that you're at the bottom. You got absolutely nothing to lose. You might as well just send it. And I think that's why we have seen them previously fight against those top dogs as well.
And one thing that we expect right here, based on the numbers, is Brim United might be going for a comeback. Because so far the average that they have is 20 points for each time that they step into Nextera. And who's following them would be RRQ as well as MIBR loss. So there's a huge potential that 3 regions or 3 countries will be taking that Booyah in this map.
I mean, when we started today, we were talking about Blue Ram. We were talking about the points that they were able to get, right? During the groups, they were averaging about 19.7 points. So far today, even though they had a great performance in game 1, they've only been 11, so a massive drop-off for that squad, Conchita.
Yes, it is. But then again, if we take a look at the Booyah list, 3 out of the 4 Thailand team has gotten it. So maybe it's just about time that again, Buriram United Esports, they were doing so well at the elimination points up until that time when they got eliminated early. So there's still hope for Buriram United Esports. I am keeping an eye out for them. And Nextera, once again, this is one of Wasana's favorite map, actually. He said it somewhere.
Wasana तो बहुत खुश लग रहा है ये मैप में. अच्छा है.
I guess you guys just don't want it enough.
They're giving other people a chance to catch up.
That's so humble of them.
When we were talking about the overall, we saw first place there with 70 points with AJL, and then going all the way down to Lion, I think they were somewhere in the 53-point mark. So honestly, one Booyah.
ring देखो ring. काफी interesting है ring.
2 matches earlier on. I can't wait to see what it's going to be looking like after this 2 matches, because if it's anything like what we just saw previously, it's going to be absolute madness. And you know what? I want to see that madness. I know you at home want to see that madness too. Let's send it to Nextera.
Well, madness is exactly what we're going to be getting as we go into this map. AJ warned us that this map could possibly be match point, because of the possibilities of some of these teams popping off. Just now, Neptune already said 3 teams, BRU, MIBR Loss, as well as RRQ have high potentials of going huge on this map. What do you think, Lucifer?
I don't like it, Tash.
Why?
I went on the stage and was like, hey, this is the time that teams are trying to take it away from Southeast Asia. But look at it, as we are back towards our match number 5, 3 teams from Southeast Asia are ready to get to match point. And that just feels like it might just go back. But doesn't matter, the cooperation looks really good. AGL, Twisted Minds and Falcons looking forward to a chance on the game trophy. This is Nextera, the last game where you know the clear path to, because every game after this is randomized and you don't know where you're heading in the flight.
Yeah, you're basically going in blind in this situation. Again, there is high possibility of hitting that match point, but the question is which team will be able to clinch in that final Booyah to go home with the trophy and the championship title.
Flight path right now cutting the map in half. Nothing much to be worried about for any team. If you want to go up north, you have a chance at Intellect Center. And if you want to go to Deca Square, which is so far in our previous days of the journey.
TAG फिर से clash ना हो जाए यार. Don't tell me वापस से BRU. वापस से BRU के साथ clash होने वाली है क्या?
However, towards Rushtown, we see Falcons and a mix of Loud and Loud. They are the next best in case of Southeast Asia do not find their match point. It is going to be Loud.
Yeah, Loud looks really good. I think in the first match was a bit more quiet from them, but they started to warm up. And I think it's really scary because they are a type of team that is just really patient with how they play. And we saw some gunshots coming through from them as well. So we are going to be seeing this fight happening. But at the same time, I suspect that for the players of Luxo, they're keeping a close eye on this team. Limit already chunked out so low, even knocked down. But the revivals are quick. But Loud is just happy with his early 2 points.
2 points. The Inoculus used to get to know where more players from Falcons are, so they know Pina is also close by. Not exact coordinates, but Pina, he'll also be snuffed out very soon. He's running out in the open. He doesn't have an idea that there's a player.
Shark Indian truck driver question.
And very soon,
क्या Indian truck driver
got the revive, will also lose another player. On the other end, Buriram finally getting back into action and they're taking down Evos. They were supposed to be the ones closest to the match point, but they've been pushed so far down at the 7th spot that they need to rise up the ranks, get back to around 70 points. At least in this game, I don't see a possibility for Buriram to get to match point as comparison to the others.
Cpina, great attempt and also successfully being able to pick up Trap in his position. Aggressive as hell, could be able to go for this 1v1 against Nyx. Aware, drops down those glue walls, but able to bring Trap back into the game. Valiant dash to bring down the glue walls, moving all around the area. The lack of info keeps Pina at bay, but On Fire is here to provide some form of support. But Fluxo in the wings wants to join the fight, but before that could happen, Pina gets another elimination in
the stolen. Fluxo, they're the ones who made a close by attempt here, and now surrounded is Pina. He was
Schedule 1 elimination, come on.
Not going to work out. Electrotherapy as well, working in favor for Fluxo. But Fluxo, they still have a challenge. Loud were the ones who pushed Falcons out, so Loud are still in the close compounds there. For Falcons, they might be safe and sound in the other direction, but Fluxo want to surround them. It seems like Falcons are the ones who re-attempt, and Loud are the ones who get away with it. UAV being used, information will be relayed, and Fluxo, they will again re-attempt and take down Falcons. On Fire's footsteps will be heard, but Sid will give a call, Bobs on the top, to see if anybody exits in the nearby compound, and then they both again in a 2v1 might look forward to a second elimination on Falcons.
On Fire is very capable of winning in 2v1s, but over on this side of the map here, Rand's in trouble as AGAL completely overwhelmed and swarmed. Great work coming for this team. Positions all noted. No one is truly safe in this area. And now, wants to jump off from this site is looking scary. Attempts coming through here from SAUL.
Come on, SAUL.
Somehow will go down as AGL so meticulous with how exactly they take these fights.
SAUL needed to win this if they wanted to deny AGAL the match point. And with that not happening and AGAL getting the eliminations, they will now slowly get closer towards match point, and they need only 20. And if they activate match point here, meaning match number 6 is where they just need a booyah and they will close this entire Esports World Cup 2026 for Free Fire.
As Loud just now as well, looking really good on how they played this area. And I have to say, those early fights were really good. Loud knowing when exactly to let go and leave as soon as a third party came is the reason why they're able to have these really deep runs and survive till the end.
AGL, they would want to be the ones who...
I have headphones on your bottle busted my... Sorry.
4 eliminations right now, and right in front is going to be Loud. The team, not from their region, but the challengers as best. They've been showing consistency from the very first game. Got the booyah in the beginning itself, but it's not been a case where they continuously get a lot in terms of eliminations, whereas AGL, they've been better in consistency and just secured a booyah in the previous game. And AGL, all gamers global. What a global title for themselves. They won it in Clash Squad. And now they want a Battle Royale, and Nyx is down. Cypher. Oh no! A counter now coming through. That's in.
AGL 70 points star eliminations already. AGL का लग रहा है सबसे पहले hit होएगा 90 points. Tag इतना bottom में कैसे? Tag और SAUL दोनों अच्छा नहीं खेल पा रहे यार.
Nice hit coming with the throwable. Cypher is still brought back to life. Chrono being used. Cypher might have bashed himself, but BZP with the melter. He's surrounded, gets one. But Cypher will be happy that Nameless brought him back to life, and BZP out. AGL still functioning. However, Nyx is the only one floating above because Stab just got taken down. So troubles and problems for Loud.
AGL looking very aggressive here, but we also are seeing Twisted Minds join in on the fight. 2 members from the team knocked out already, quickly taken away, and Cypher is limping right now. Forced to hide in a corner, forced to just really keep quiet and keep his head down. If he wants to be able, just go for that reset. Regardless, the rest of Twisted Minds not really interested in going in for this hunt, rather prioritizing survivability and positions later. But as for this side of the map here, Fluxo hit toe-to-toe up against the Falcons.
Fluxo, W7M. Their fans have been non-stop on the drums, chanting their names. And now they need to get to that position. Taking down Falcons will give them massive points and deny Falcons from getting towards match point. Melter was already used. So the aggression still continues. While we take a look at the circle, which is about to make its own shift, to bring its own gameplay and a push where teams will not be ready for. And what a quick shift it's been. A drastic one, moves through the complete eastern edge, leaving only almost Twisted Minds at the center of it, and it seems like the whole ploy is being towards Twisted Minds, maybe being the champions as well.
SAUL wants to go in for this fight, wants to be able to play comeback
SAUL,
here.
come
But
on.
is definitely not a foe to be underestimated here. Troll, great on the opening. They were aware of his rotation from the other side. A nice piece of cut across. They've been able to do it. MT7's position noted, but movement is good. Being able to take some chip damage, but not enough to drop him down. Bunzin goes up close and personal, dropping down a member of SAUL as bombs. The damage is good toward Bunny, but no knocks yet from their side. And in this situation, they're barely alive, with Troll looking to find the final member. Bobs knocked down.
Nice one, Troll.
Running for his life.
Troll! Nice one, yeah, Troll.
Man was on the stage with us. 4 eliminations, and SAUL Esports take down another runner on this title.
8 eliminations. Nice. Very nice.
Next era, this map, this matchup is going to be crucial for every team that's making a comeback. So is Burira. RRQ also needs the points. But them all playing outside the zone means this could be an opportunity for the others who are inside the circle. And taking another opportunity is SAUL. Now it's Ryan on a
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Jack is well taken down over there. Della. He's the one who made the hit. Games Kings knocked, and for the time being, quickly Della to recover and patch himself. Puts glue walls in the container. And Noor wanting to help his teammates, but he's going to be surrounded.
Oh, shit.
And he'll also be knocked.
Completely overwhelmed. Lion doing great with the timing, and they've been very, very opportunistic throughout the entirety of today. And now, in this situation, a little bit more further out of the zone, but they do have the opportunity to get into the area, since the area on the northern side is fairly empty. The only team standing between them is just TAG.
Team Apex Gaming. We just saw what SAUL were able to do, but both SAUL and Team Apex Gaming are sharing the position on the overall ranking. Not great. However, Jack trying to make it better. Spots limit, but damage being done by Jack as well. While on the other end, front runners is what we were talking about. AGL are on the top of it. Cypher gates by Rigby. M590 to do the damage. Confirmation also to follow through. Nameless trying to hammer MIBR loss, and then successful blows being landed. Nameless now covering the outer fronts. Ravan, after he's losing his teammates, wants to make a run, go for a revive. But even Rigby, he will not deny on this challenge.
Oh my god, Apex eliminated.
No workout, as AGL will have MIBR loss surrounded and swept out.
Yeesh! Talk about a team that's just really walking in the around the area, just sweeping it. Looking really good right now as we look at the entirety of the circle. Majority of it, at least, the best
SAUL with 10 eliminations. Nice.
Completely taken over here. Evos on the western side, Twisted Minds and Loud sharing that southern side as well. Now, I'm just waiting for these two to just really just duke it out, because we all know how bloody it can be.
Binoculars were used, so information's being relayed on either end. Twisted Minds, we spoke about it. AGL might be at the top, a team from Thailand, but Twisted Minds, they were a team that nobody had to bat an eye on. Nobody thought that they're going to be, because AGL's there, Buriram's there, Falcons is there from the region, but Twisted Minds, they're twisting players, hands and legs to make it happen. SAUL also trying that similar approach. They did battle against Falcons, but now Pina running, ring around the poses to try and see if there's a chance. He runs away from Bunny, but will be spotted.
Nice.
Still going for a 1v1 and no workout. It's going to be a max 7 end for him.
Nice one, SAUL.
Their 13th elimination.
This is a
13 eliminations. Nice.
Yes, there are moments of
यहाँ से comeback है क्या chart SAUL का?
they're able to do. Riding high on that momentum, being able to
Finally.
take out the Giants. And now they continue on here. Northern side, they have the compound and space. And if you were to look at the zone right now, the southern side is about to get hectic. A majority of teams rotating through. Looking at the areas as well, for AGAL, I would say this is one of their best ones. 10 eliminations, not too far there, as the Falcons and SAUL each are getting completely destroyed in their own compounds and areas.
AGL, two different teams in front of them, Twisted Minds as well as Loud. But Buriram, they have only one, that's going to be RRQ. Get High is out. Problem striking, Dutch confirms, Rans as well. And Vasana trying to bring Buriram back. He will be put to his knees. Dutch will be recovered because Rans is closer. Buriram having a teammate, Jonah, who gets closer. Moshi from afar tried his shots, but none of them worked or connected to RRQ. But this breather was enough. Buriram is back in action, and Buriram also getting help from Evos. And now Evo's helping them out. RRQ are in trouble. Dubs, can he recover this? Only good for an exchange, and instantly he will be shut down. And that's the end for RRQ.
RRQ looked like they had a really great start there. Burb United, this is a situation they really needed. Quiet in the last two games, needing to play catch up despite the great start.
Wow, SAUL
Bunny getting knocked down.
Oh no.
Lion, making sure
SAUL eliminated.
and even going for more. EVOS is now pressured since Lion does have a high gun advantage.
All gamers global now making a rush towards Loud. Already a casualty over there. Can they confirm the elimination? No, Loud managed to recover, but the push is still there. And helping out was Twisted Minds, and in an instant Loud wanted to get out, and all they get out is out of the game into the lobby. Loud Snickers. They were almost consistent, but with only 4 points in this game, nothing much, but more points coming in for Buriram United Esports, as Twisted Minds did help out over there to AGL. Now they have their own concerns.
Yeah, they're on top side here. They are safe for the time being. When they found Limit, they knock him down. As for EVOS, wants to wrestle away this space away from Lion. But they're just getting knocked out. Their space just running out. Della waiting in the wings. His teammates shepherding the players of EVOS toward him. A beautiful nade takes out Abax. Russia gets knocked out as well. And a quad for Lion. Joker going huge in this particular round. EVOS eliminated.
Joker! Already Lion has 26 eliminations in total, and now they've spotted Twisted Minds.
Lion या AGL का हो सकता है पहले 90 points 26 eliminations Lion, oh my god.
Trying to close the distance between Buriram as well as Twisted Minds, but he only read that there was players on the roof, not inside the compound. And Keroro, if he jumps in, it's going to be trouble, but trouble already for AGL right behind the bus. Riptide Rhythm, Flash Freeze all being used, and Lion are peppering them with bullets, and Twisted Minds are dropping nades after nades to trouble AGL.
Yeah, AGL, terrible position to be in. Not a lot of space either, and they're completely crunched from multiple angles, above or below. They are gonna get chunked down here. And Lion, a lot of space to work with, but this circle shift is about to get interesting. Yes, Buriram United and Twisted Minds has a little bit more space. Guakos getting knocked down here, should be able to get picked up. And AGL looking to rally back.
Lion quickly recovered. Thankfully, they did not lose their sniper. AGL, however, Nameless gets hit. But there is a chance, glue wall and recovery. This is just the back and forth now. Exposy finds on Joker. Well, it'll be a quick recovery, but Exposy, can he find another? Nice monster truck being brought down. Blocking vision for the time being. Yoka trying to find an angle. It's not possible for the time being. But Lion, if they pull this off, 27 eliminations already. We were talking about records. They might be getting closer. Aurora was the last time who managed to get closer to it, but they did not close it out. And all Lion are doing is a knock after knock after knock. We have to see when do teams manage to not able to rise up. No revives, and finally it seems like AGL have had enough. They make a rush.
They are forced to take this fight as well. AGL, a bad situation turned into a good one. Desperation turned into a win. They have the space right now, looking to overwhelm the players of Buriram United. And this is huge. Really stop Buriram United in their tracks. Continue their silent run throughout the last few maps. Buriram United, their backs out in the open. Lion take full advantage of this. Wasana knocked down. Get high, barely alive. But they're holding on for Twist for Lion. As the AGL members also are in trouble.
Trouble is not stopped. hoping. Cypher managed to jump, but he'll still be picked off. That's going to be the Twisted Minds, and AGL around. Comes down to the last two teams. Lion and Twisted Minds. Twisted Minds are getting closer towards the match point, but Lion have a race to reach. Opening yet to be found. Games King was knocked, but that's not going to be
Check
enough.
who's gonna win.
Twisted Minds now rotating.
AGL या तो Lions मेरे को लग रहा है ओवरऑल 90 पॉइंट्स जो पहले हिट करेंगे SC12 TAG की तो बहुत मुश्किल है अभी चार्ट्स में बहुत पीछे है वो लोग पॉइंट्स वाइज
try and take away that space, but it's a high climb, playing this angle where Twisted Minds have all the advantage. Diamond with the high ground, and even those snipers, it's going to be really
एक दिन का ही फाइनल है यस
Riptide rhythm being used, but he'll not be troubled. On the other end, Diamond will be, because Joker came up close, putting the player on the roof down, and now look at this, Lion closing in, because they know the zone's closing out Twisted Minds. Della as well close by. They need the confirmation. Twisted Minds have lost the player. Games King finds the boss. More falling through, jump is down. One last player, and Lion!
अरे 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 अरे
Get the booyah! And they take and break everything on Nextera!
Nextera was set to be a map for other teams, but they decide to go aggressive. They decide to take this fight with gusto, and they are fearless. From a bad situation to a good one, disadvantages upon disadvantages, and turned into advantages somehow.
दोनों के हो गए 90 पॉइंट्स इनको बूया भी मिल गया
Team decides to overwhelm. Don't count them out. And suddenly, everything up in the air. Match point is still. We're still wondering when exactly that's going to happen.
They crushed keys yesterday, and today opportunities of match point being crushed. 45 total points. Lion break all the records that anybody thought could have been left as it is by Falcons, which was done. Aurora got closer, but they couldn't. And Lion, they do it. The beasts of Nextera making a comeback in the grand finals. Looking forward to match point. What a play, what a position. Look at this, Joker, unbelievable stuff. He did find this opening, but this was the crucial one. Putting Diamond out. How did they make it happen? That is crucial with Della going up close. Let's hear them out.
AGL लाइन रश दोनों का चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट हो गया
They were super hype. Like as you mentioned, match point denial.
BRB shot.
And if you were to see their record throughout this entirety of the week, they didn't really get activated up until later. We've seen moments of it, and now records are broken. And most importantly, what the heck was that ending?
What was that indeed? I agree with you. But AGAL, they got 22 points, and now I'm afraid. It was 70 points before we started this game, and now that match 5's ended, I think they've made it to match point. The only team that have made it to match point. We'll take a look at it, but let's talk about the key players. We were talking, the highlight was entirely on Games King when we always spoke about Lion. Yes, in his region, when we were seeing their games, it was, yes, him, the MVP, finding eliminations, but when it was necessary, the whole team stepped up, except for his name. Everybody else was there. That tells you when Games King could play his own game, and on top of it, Joker as the sniper. Oh my God. He made sure Twisted Minds, if they thought they had a chance, it will be swept, vanquished, and cleared from their minds.
You know what's really interesting as well? We talked about it because Twisted Minds had the prime positioning. They had the compound, they had the high ground. Even Diamond on the top side there had all the information he needed. But that one shot coming in from Lion to take down Diamond, and suddenly it just felt like a huge collapse. Suddenly all their defenses fell apart. And that's what I like seeing for Lion. You are being very, very opportunistic to turn the tides. Regardless, we're going to take a breather, and when we come back, let's see what exactly will be going on here in the grand finals.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn.
वो एलिमिनेशंस बटोर के कितने लीडर बोर्ड के वो लोग ऊपर आए हैं। खैर ये तो वक्त ही बताएगा, बट जो डिस्ट्रैक्शंस यहाँ पर से मचाए रॉकी, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अब बाकी टीमों के लिए इन्होंने कुछ छोड़ा नहीं है। एक स्टेटमेंट दे दिया कि अगर आपको कमबैक करना है तो फिर बस एक गेम है, और कमबैक करने के साथ साथ आपको हमको भी रोकना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज सिर्फ अगर आपका कमबैक होगा तो समझ लीजिए कि वो टाइटलशिप, वो चैंपियनशिप, वो टाइटल वो हमारे पास ही आने वाला है।
बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं आप। और देखिए नेक्स्ट ईयर का मुकाबला इतना संवेदनशील होगा, मैंने पहले ही कहा था, क्योंकि पता थी कि इसी मुकाबले में सबसे ज्यादा आप पॉइंट्स को एक्सेलरेट कर सकते हैं। ये आज का हिसाब किताब है।
इंग्लिश रहने दो, मैं ही मजा
लायन स्पोर्ट्स ने तो तोते ही उड़ा दिए। 33 एलिमिनेशन बुया।
अरे समझ गई मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूँ।
Lion and AGAL with very impressive points, 89 and 82.
That is amazing indeed. I mean, just take a look at that last game. Lion, they totally won our heart over. They had it really hard against Twisted. Twisted had the better position, but they were quick. They were super fast. A booyah, first booyah for Lion today, and they got 33 elimination points in just one game. They were struggling at the beginning, but 33 elimination points is huge, Yunsol.
The youth energy is getting fired up right here, and I want to talk about Joker. He is such a nice sniper. Wait, getting himself 11 eliminations point is amazing. Very incredible, right? Super love that guy, actually.
And of course, if we're talking about the match point, they are now 6 points ahead of AGAL, and that is something that we should look forward into going on the next game.
92 as well, and I think both of them can activate it. Both of them have activated the champion rush already, and just
हिंदी
need
काम
one more booyah to become the
ऑप्शन में
champion of
नई
the
हिंदी
AWC
टीम्स ने
26 free
बुया
fire right
निकाला ही
here.
नहीं, तो
But
वही
behind
होगा।
that, we still have Twisted Minds, 87 points, and Loud, 71.
Yeah,
Pretty
and that
close.
is amazing. And you just saw what happened in the green room. You just saw our reaction, because that game, that match was just intense. But now we are surely having high hopes for Lion and hoping the other could catch up to them, because this is what they show exactly at the survival stage. I mean, technically, Lion was also one of the very first team who got the booyah during the group stage, right? So we all know that they do have what it takes to be the champion.
Well, this is the first time a LATAM region can rise above and become the champions. What do you think?
I think this is going to be huge, and I'm pretty sure that we are in for some more surprises. But now I think it's time for us to go back to the casters. I'm sure they have a lot to say about the upcoming matches. So Yunsul, are you sure that your team can still make it?
Why is she wearing the ankle? That's
No,
just
they did not make it. I'm so
style,
sorry.
okay.
Why are you being like, I still have 2 teams. I still have RRQ and Impulse, and I
अब
do
मजा
hope
आएगा,
they
रियल
are
टीम्स अब इन्हें
going to
टारगेट
put
करेंगी।
everything they
हाँ,
have on the land right now
अब
and
देखने के
activate
मजा आएगा ये
those
लोग कैसे
match
खेलेंगे।
points.
Oh man, this is getting real hot right now. 2 teams already on match point, and 2 teams are about to bring home trophies for the first time to their own regions.
Cutthroat is the competition. Like our talents down there as well, Conchita and Yunsu. They were at each other, but this tells us how this competition
This
is
team
turning
came
out.
out of syllabus by the way. इस लियोन टीम में लेटम में 4 गेम में चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट किया है। 5 में बुया मार दिया था। वो कैन टैग कम बैक होने पर बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, बहुत। अभी तो आई थिंक नेक्स्ट टू नो ही है। You are calling me fashionably disabled. Actually, you're right.
98 is what Lion have secured.
AGL or
65
Lion.
eliminations. AGL for a second I was worried.
98
AGL
points,
did not
92
get it
points.
because looking at how they were taking
Twisted
the
Mind
points,
15 points से रह गई।
this was a close call, and they'll be happy that they got to match point. Even if
बाहर आ
Lion
गई,
managed
zero
to
kill
secure
से भी
the
बुया
win the
करा
next
तब
game,
भी जीत
AGL
जाएगी।
will manage to try and defend it. So chances for AGL also there for becoming a champion.
That's right, and this is where things get really hard. Getting the match point is not the hard
चलो
part.
अभी
Getting
देखते हैं।
that booyah, however, is. It's as though you're putting a big, I would say, target on your back. And it's as though you have to have that mental to make it all the way to the end. Playing slow, is that an option? Maybe. But will other teams allow you to do that?
Not sure, as the flight path, as we see a little southern favor just above Santa Catarina and ending at Mammoth. But still, teams managed to traverse. But one team traversing into a battle directly is going to be EVOs.
वापस से TAG और BRU का फाइट चालू हो गया.
Once again happening.
इनका हर मैच में क्लैश हो रहा है.
It's time to start off with battles from the very beginning. And Team Apex Gaming right now at Buriram. Last time they did eliminate Buriram, but this time it seems like Sahil Jat and Vatsana as well. One elimination each, and Wolvin also goes out.
Getting eliminated so early. EVOS. What on earth happened over on that side? Meanwhile, over here, TAG tag still surviving, still as a 2. Buriram United doing a great job of just maintaining this space, making sure that they're able to just bring their team back into the game. Yeah, they lost Osana, but how quick they were to go for that, I would say, that reset. A replay to just see what's going on right now. Look how quick Buriram United just completely overwhelmed, left no space at moment for TAG to completely pick up the pace.
And while that replay happened, MIB a loss, they were the ones who put EVOs out here at Shrines. TAG and Buriram was again drop cash previously. TAG had to go to Santa Catarina. They decided, hey, let's take a hit at Buriram. This time it did not work out. But Buriram, when we talk about that, it seems like they have a challenge very soon. Lion, who just broke the EWC record, are now going towards Stone Ridge. AGL on the other end, they better be wary about it. If they don't read into this, if they're not ready into
yeah, I mean not impossible but practice really very difficult क्योंकि उनका 90 points पहुंचने में बहुत keen है. And जैसे start I don't think.
Get hit by Lion and the battle strikes off. Get high is down. Games King confirms it. Trying to close the distance. Jonah, can he hold it off? Yes, he does. But Games King is there as a backup. What do you do against these beasts of Free Fire?
Buriram United in this situation possibly not only bit more than they can chew, they were also completely tunnel visioned, unaware of the positioning, the layering of how the Lion players have placed themselves. Now we move over to the Falcons, just side by side to the players of TAG. And this is interesting because usually for the Falcons, it's all about going aggressive here. They go do that against Trap, quick to find him. But the rest of Loud, very, very comfortable on the other end, able to move away.
I think it was just Loud trying to scope out for information, and Trap just got spotted out without knowing that players were behind him. But one more team right behind Falcons is this time Team Apex Gaming, who just made a recovery. But look at Pino! Shoto instantly put down and carrying on to follow up. Falcons, they're the ones who are flying and clipping the wings over the side. Compromise. Zip also used, and he will also be brought down to his knees. Wolvin. He did manage to recover the team, but he will not be able to recover even a single elimination against Falcons.
Falcons look really good right now, much more like themselves. They're just moving around the area and the map and just really taking fights against every single team.
Arena का vibe ही different है. Arena में बहुत happening लग रहा है.
Definitely a lot more slower
Can't
than
wait
the
to
first
be
few
there.
maps today. Everyone's so cautious. No one wants to give any opportunity.
Bound to happen. Two teams have match point. If you mess up, one of those two teams will become champions. Crush your keys, put it in their trophy, and for the entire year will be reigning kings of Free Fire. And you do not want that. That is the reason the teams who are the closest, Twisted Minds as well as Loud, they want a recovery. The Tag, they are not finding any recovery at all today.
It's like a marathon of just recoveries for them.
Revive and revive. Nothing on the
TAG का बस
elimination
28 points यार.
Look so, the crowd's
कल
so
परसों क्या
loud for
खेला
them,
TAG ने.
giving them that energy, and Diamond will be the first one to get knocked down here quickly. 1 point in the bag here, and T7 does find one of their own, but they are going to be rallied back. Because we do have Twisted Minds here that do still want to play. Jump, knocked out already, 2 eliminations for Fluxo. A first step, too many for it to climb up the ladder. Bit more quiet for the rest of the day since they did manage to get one big game earlier.
Twisted Minds, thankfully they got away. They are 3 points away from match point. If they don't get there in this game, They have to only hope that AGL and Lion, they don't win out. And thankfully, Falcons are trying to deny, but Games King says no once again.
Insane right now.
Guerrero, his confirmation comes through. And now Lion are quick to check and pounce upon if there are more Falcon players here.
Now for AGAL, also up here, ready for that trophy. But Lost looking to just really shut them down, not able to do so with General. Going to get knocked down here. Rigby tries to at least trade, can't do so. Blocked out by those glue walls. And quick to reposition. First elimination in the bag. But for Made in Brazil Lost, you see Yago pressuring Barros, forced to move away. He barely survived that encounter.
AGL या Lion किसका होगा guys?
Not able to overcome. So
Lion का तो 100 points होने
they're
वाला
going
है.
to try
दोनों
at
में
least
से किसका
hold
हो
on the
सकता है
position.
trophy?
Try to isolate Yago, be aware of where everyone is.
Lion के
They
already 6
cannot get
eliminations
any
हैं.
more
मेरे को तो Lion का लग रहा है.
AGL do not even want that. They just want a booyah. Even Lion. But Lion are still pouncing upon opponents, taking them down. They have 6 eliminations already. Just did lose out a player. And that's due to the launch pad they took, but that's still
I feel
okay.
Loud को
However,
अभी
they have a
और
hit list on them
29
for the next
points,
1
18,
minute. The
19
position
points
to the
चाहिए.
team who activated the hit list will be pinged, and they have to be wary about it. And that's going to be the Falcons. Initially, Lions did take them down, but Falcons, I think, want to fly and swoop down, put their beaks into the Falcons, and take that beast away.
It's going to be really fun how it's going to go. Lion, you know, I would have surprised. I thought they would have changed up the way they play coming into this particular game. But for them, they're saying, no, let's just play our game. Let's continue our momentum and how we move. In this situation here, we just talked about Lion. Squawka's already getting knocked out. Now for Twisted Minds, an idea on exactly how it's going to go. Look at this map here, this area toward the sub. No one really around, so Fluxo, they can become the gatekeepers. They want to know. Twisted Minds knows exactly where MT7 is. Takes a lot of damage already. Will tie by a bit more time. The long-range weapons that MT7 has is lethal in his hands. Exposy is getting
Team
shot
Apex
back in
eliminated.
return. And both these teams temporarily on a stalemate. Exposy, the glue wall falls, takes quite a bit of damage, forced to reposition, but able to put another one down. The electrotherapy will give a bit of space. Not for long. Teammate knocked down. The bat is here as well. MT7 going to be completely overwhelmed here. Tries his best to at least steal away a pickoff. Not going to be able to do so. But still, Geo decides to join in on this fight.
There's more from Fluxo. There are chances that Fluxo can take a hit, but it seems like there's been a call made to retreat. Do not continue this fight, because if they keep giving eliminations to Twisted Minds, that is them going to be activating match point. And Twisted Minds, their chase doesn't work in their favor. They almost were about to lose 2 players. They did lose 1. But instantly knowing that Fluxo is close by, they decide not to continue that fight with this disadvantage.
Hey, thanks Flex God for the jewels. Thank you, thank
But
you.
at the very least here, for Gio and the rest of Fluxo, they can be the ones to keep Twisted Minds out of the zone. But if you take too long, the Lions are going to go on a hunt. And Lion is now here. Their strategy of going completely aggressive, taking fights left, right, and center has been going very, very well for them.
Twisted Minds, only 1 elimination, meaning they will jump to 88. They need more players to be at least eliminated. 10 in the lobby. If a team gets eliminated, they bring it down to around 8, they'll start getting placement points and they might make those 3 points. But this is how pressure works, especially in the finals. You know, with match point under threat, if you don't activate it, somebody else activates it, and then the booyah to follow is the game.
TAG को क्या हो गया इस स्पीड से तो अलग साल से EW कोई नहीं यार वो लोग इंटरनेशनल लॉबी पहुंचे वो भी बहुत ही बड़ी बात है यार उनको अप्रिशिएट तो करना चाहिए ऑडियंस की एनर्जी तो मस्त
Instead of
है
just going in for this fight, decides to prioritize positioning, and it's good. They got a compound, and most importantly, a bit more advantage to the players of Twisted Minds and even Fluxo. To see Buram United still out there in the open, we thought the last map would be a change in pace for this particular team since it's very, very quiet. But we haven't seen more from them on this map either.
But Twisted Minds, they're also unable to see a lot. It seems like they're just back and forth in the play zone. They're playing outside the edges itself. Anytime they try to get closer, Fluxo once shut them down, and the other time they had a clash, somehow surviving. good use of the electrotherapy is all I can say at this point, because they're trying to survive that play zone and nothing else, because they want to make it to the end. They're trying to bank on those placement points we were talking about. RRQ on the other end at the 9th spot, 46
AGL का
points.
spot तो अच्छा है, ready है वो
We
लोग
just
भी.
broke a record.
अच्छे से
45
split
total
up भी
points.
हुए
Why
यार
not
ये
them
लोग.
trying their hand at it? Because we know RRQ have that potential.
They do.
It's just that they miss
AGL
out
के
when
लिए
it's time to
cheer
close.
सुन
So
रहे हो तुम
RRQ
लोग? बाप रे.
always stays their very own comeback.
Dish.
In this situation
Dish
as
ले
well,
लिया.
AGAL, like you mentioned, fairly quiet, but this era to our refinery could be good for them. Going in from these long-range picks, being able to catch people, any team in the midst of rotation.
I'm surprised to see refinery so empty. AGAL,
right?
They're having a ball of a time there. And if that continues, they can see command posts right down. And that is where the circle is.
But the fights are still going on here with the Made in Brazil Lost getting that first pick off here. But General will be the one that's faded out there. But you can't count Yago out, putting in that damage for the Falcons. We're so ready for Rigby's jump shot. Triple elimination for him.
Nice shot.
Aggressive as heck, and another step forward to their own match point with MIBR loss. Able to bring one player in the game. You need more if you want to bring the whole team. Not enough coins to be able to do so.
SHUL अभी भी है with 0 elimination. वो लोग शायद से बूया try कर रहे हैं क्या?
Loud have only 4 eliminations. Falcons want to make their way, but they need around 27 in
Safe
total.
खेल
They
रहे,
have
fight
earned
नहीं ले
10
रहे.
of those eliminations. AGL finally making a rotation out of the refinery. We spoke about it. Circle is not there. With the position that they hold, they have a clear front to move around. And that's how they decide to rotate as well. Rather than going directly into the circle, they're moving around it so that they have information. And especially the vertical terrain advantage is what they still want to keep.
AGL just now, they were trying to get the advantage earlier, but now the advantage comes close since they do have this huge terrain. Those Lion, Games King will be knocked down. But Dilla is here to completely uplift the
Oh
terrain.
shit. Nameless अकेला बचा.
Nameless, you gotta do something, you gotta survive. But Dilla shuts him down. A quadra kill from this player.
AGL को eliminate ही कर दिया.
Their way into the game, and a heartbreak for AGAL.
That was an M249 used like a Gatling gun and gutting AGL out. And Lion,
कुछ फायदा नहीं है बोला kills करके ही chance है. फिर kills भी नहीं कर रहे. SHUL at this point are just
match point, and now it's
playing.
only Lion in Kalahari. They spotted the next opponent. That's going to be Fluxo. But they don't have to run into it because Fluxo are already in another fight. That's going to be Buriram. These teams are fighting amongst themselves while
Buriram भी बहुत
are
दूर है.
clearing
64
shot and
points.
paving path.
It's gonna be dangerous right now.
Lion का
Fluxo,
chance है ये.
crowd
AGL
love
out
for
हो
them. A
गई
lot of
थी.
energy, a lot of
पूरी
cheers
की
and
पूरी out हो
Brennan
गई.
looking to silence them. A quick reposition coming in from Budzin. Good enough to keep the rest of Buriram United at bay. But the shots coming through from Lion pressures the rest of SAUL, and they're picking up the HP, picking up the HP of the players, and they're not able to do a lot.
Oh shit.
As the members of SAUL drop one by one.
M249 not stopping from Della. Has 4 eliminations. Finally, Troll puts a stall and then a
Troll,
knock
come
on.
on.
Crucial to put Lion down on SAUL.
Troll, come on.
Towards them. This is going to be an
Hashtag one को तो मारो.
to slow them down. Confirms on Jack as well. Bringing it down to a 3v3. Bunny with the AC-80 has done the damage. Boltmaker also surrounding Lion. Very cautious on the approach. Nade being cooked, tossed, but will not hit the mark. SAUL are right behind the containers, but not in position for Lion to instantly fight.
Yeah, and now Lion running out of space. The same could be said about SAUL. Maybe a temporary respite between teams. Regardless, gonna try and chunk forward here as well, but kept at bay. Damage is too much, and throughout all of that as well, Falcons and RRQ gonna juke it out. Falcons taking a lot of heavy damage, and RRQ completely collapsed. The Falcons cannot move.
RRQ, they managed to put Falcons down, but the fight is not yet done. MIBR lost, who managed to recover General and Yago, but RRQ as the zone's closing, they want to be ahead of it. They want to make a move, and they are. They also need the points. They're at the 8th spot. We spoke about it. 40-point difference. Now it's tough. Players getting knocked. Mahal will be brought back to life, and General instantly put to rest by Abe. And RRQ get their 5th. But Lion They are the ones that the whole lobby should be worried about. 7 teams still surviving. SATL at the front of it.
Interesting.
And Della makes it inside the circle. Joker using the stealth bites, and look at Jakob. He's in the other front. Reply rhythm used. This could be an opening to stall SATL as well.
Could be really good. RQ is now out, but for the
Lion SATL. Oh, sheesh.
SAUL eliminated, and they quickly go toward the next mark. They have Look so close by. They also have Loud as well, but they're taking this bit by bit. Twisted Minds shut up inside of the compound.
Oh my
But
god.
Joker is just on a rampage.
Records were just broken, and now records are being made. History being created. Lion have the best advantage.
लायन कौन सी कंट्री का टीम है यार? क्या खेल रहे हैं ये लोग?
M79, 2 of the players from Twisted Mind are down. Nicks up close and personal, and Loud have put Twisted Minds down. Lion a 3v4.
This is insane because Wakos is just finding the angle to a
अबे मिस कर दिया
able to
इसने.
land those shots, taking his time, but the Nice have a nice crossfire, and Loud completely surrounded, cannot really move. These two teams, Loud especially wants to stop Lion from being able to end this tournament. Trap stuck in the corner. Lion playing at a disadvantage with one player less. Joker taking his time.
Trap is the one who made it possible. Now Trap has to be the one to put Lion down as well. But Lion, Joker, the man who
Oh,
became the MVP,
sheesh.
he has to hold this off. Nice throw, no player being involved. Nick's making a jump. Can he do the damage? 2 of the players from Loud have gotten closer, doing the damage. Run being done from Della. He now is
Damn.
not pulling the M249 up because he knows the number disadvantage, and Nix, he finds the opening. Loud are stopping this from happening, and Nix and BCP,
Loud.
they stop Lion, stop them, and bring it back to Brazil.
They are not allowing this tournament to end. You are not going home with that trophy. Must be frustrating, must be a heartbreak. You're so close, you're already there. The booyah right at the tips of your
अगर ये बुया कर लेते तो ये जीत जाते हैं. Damn.
Could have been history in Esports World Cup 2026 in Paris. There have been a lot of firsts that happened on this stage. And Lion
लायन ने अच्छा किया यार.
just
Feeling
by
bad for
a
Lion.
sliver missed this chance, but look at Loud, their execution. Trap, he started it all with the M79, using the launchers, denying everybody from getting closer. Twisted Minds getting shattered within the compound. And then Nix and BZP together for the final hit, and make sure that the game trophy is still standing there and no keys are yet crushed.
I have to say, losing that one player advantage was just too much to deal with.
कोई भी जीते, लाउड नहीं जीतनी चाहिए. क्यों?
Look at Loud. That's a Loud reaction. The way
Loud
they
क्यों नहीं
managed to
जीतनी
hold this
चाहिए?
off. Trap. Yes, you have done magic. You have done the almighty as of now. That's what you pulled off over there.
ये लोग नहीं
Otherwise,
सीके
Lion,
बोले थे. ओ हाँ,
they
फिर
were
नहीं
about
जीतनी
to be
चाहिए.
the beasts of EWC 26 Paris Free Fire. Unbelievable, a back-to-back booyah to just close it off, close the stage. But Loud say that no, not yet. We are here. Southeast Asia has taken it away from us many times, but this time no, Brazil wants it, keeping the lifeline open. And Loud will strike this hammer for the game number 7, our match 7, which is going to happen next. But what a game this was.
They're so proficient in getting those eliminations as well. Didn't change their momentum or style of play. Didn't even slow down. AJL a bit more quiet this time, prioritizing survivability. However, that target on their backs meant that they were getting hunted left, right, and center. And I would say that if this team decides to play like Lion, play their own game, they would have had a way deeper run. Regardless, now that the map is still going on, let's have a look at what Lion has run to play like Lion, play their own game. They would have had a way deeper run. Regardless, now that the
gosh, things here are getting really serious. The heat is up right now. I'm even shake. And this interview must be really important right now because we're gonna talk with Lions, especially with the Joker. That was the player that got the most kills, the most eliminations
Joker ने
for
बहुत अच्छा
Lions,
खेला है.
where they activated the match point. Okay, so you guys got the biggest booyah of AWC history, and you just broke AWC point record, kill, and record everything. How did you feel after?
But yeah, Lion deserve to win. भाई क्या खेल रहे हो? Seriously.
Acaban de conseguir uno de los boyas más importantes en este torneo. Han roto todos los récords. ¿Cómo te sentiste en ese momento? ¿Cómo te sientes ahora?
Nada, la verdad que bastante emocionado. Al fin y al cabo yo creo que no hay mucha sensación porque seguimos todavía compitiendo, todavía no ha acabado nada. Yo creo que hasta el momento no estamos dimensionando lo que estamos haciendo, simplemente estamos queriendo salir campeones y estamos jugando para eso.
Guess why Fluxo isn't performing well? Why?
Still competing, so there's nothing to feel yet. We are just focused on getting the win and being champions.
Probably that's a good mindset for right now. You are now making history for Latam at this event at AWC, the World Champions. And you are past the point and become champions. How does it feel to be so close to making history here?
Estás haciendo historia para Latinoamérica, estás en el punto en el cual ya pueden ser campeones. ¿Cómo se siente estar en estos momentos a un paso de ser campeón?
Nada, la verdad que no hay como un sentimiento claro, sinceramente. Lo único que estamos pensando es en cerrar la partida, lograr el bulla y terminar el campeonato y lograr ser campeones. Básicamente estamos jugando para eso.
We don't really have a clear feeling. We're only thinking about getting that big last booyah, being the champions, and that's all we're thinking about right now.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty much sure that's the goal right now. I don't want to take much time with you because you got to concentrate for the next match. But I got to ask about this last game. You were so close to get the booyah that it's going to turn you guys champions. What happened? Can you share some thoughts about this last game, this end game?
I don't think Indian team वैसे भी जीत रही है, तो मैं off stream देखूंगी अभी. आप लोग भी देख लो. And yeah, this was overall fun doing watch party for Free Fire. मजा आता अगर Indian team trophy उठा दे देखती, but कोई ना, next time I will see you guys in the next stream. कल वालों ये मेरे को practice करना है, मैंने game भी नहीं touch किया है, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining. Bye.
We were 3 against 4, and we thought it was a different team, so we had a little bit of miscommunications in our comms, and we just didn't play it right, and what happened happened.
Perfect. All right, so for us to finish our interview, I just would like to make one last question. What do you have to say for those who doubt about the Latam teams, who said that the Latam teams was way below here in Free Fire?
¿Qué le quiere decir a las personas que decían que